Alrighty. Hello. Hello. Now, I don't normally stream on Sundays, but just for the story, for continuity's sake, I will be finishing PGR chapter 41 today because I don't want to wait until next week just to finish the story. Plus, next week is the Cyberpunk collab with Wuwa, so we're gonna finish this tonight. I was gonna say hopefully it won't take too long, but it probably will take a while. Hello, Machi. Peak indeed. So far, this chapter has been really fucking good, super enjoyable. Quite a lot of sad moments though, especially with Lucia when she was a kid. That really broke my heart. But yeah, so nodes 21 all the way to the very end. We're gonna get this done for today. I wasn't expecting the chapter to be this lengthy. Well, specifically the nodes in this chapter, they're quite long, especially during the earlier parts of the story and like around here too. They're quite lengthy. But that's not a bad thing. I mean, it can be for other people, but for me personally, I'm completely A-okay with the long storytelling. It adds a lot more to the story. Makes it more enjoyable, for me at least. Alright. Let's see to this story's conclusion. Pilgrimage, life, ordeal. Just think of us as the scapegoats this story needs, alright? Let's begin. Time refuses to move forward. Someone is toying with the instruments that measure it, the digital and the mechanical alike. The second hand on my watch ticks once, then I must wait a year for it to tick again. After I lost all of you, stranded in the fog, time just stopped for me. Look around. Everyone here shares the same kind of past. We're not monsters. We're just drifters who lost our home. Godless. Chapter 4. Oh, what a good spot to... Okay, it was a good thing I stopped last night then, at that part. Now we're in the fourth part of the story. Good stopping point then. Grr. Everyone watches as the Chimera wraps her arms tightly around Alpha and flees into the endless void. As they rise, the void seeps into Alpha, fraying her hair, peeling away small pieces of skin, splintering her shell. Lucia. The first voices to pierce through into her failing shell belong to Leora and the others, the vanguard of that world. I see. And that also makes sense as to why she's being called Chimera. Because it's like all the people of that world into one. It's kind of like a Z. Vanguard member number 4, Leora. When I come back, we'll look for Luna together. We'll go see the dandelions bloom. And Froggy, I'm a really cute cartoon. When I come back, we'll watch it together, okay? But soon, there won't be any living humans left in this world. So this time, let us take the lead. We will definitely pass through the gate. Alpha, Lucia, takes in more of the vision from Vanguard member number 4, Leora. She watches her leading the way, all the remaining Vanguard members at her back. They chose to be the first to meet death. Thank you for coming to collect my belongings. There's a candy in the red box. I hope it helps sweeten the bitterness. Okay. I just immediately remembered Luke, her son, from Wuwa. Feel free to take a short break here. But it's not time yet to stop, Nemo. Like everyone else, I rewrote the rules of the Hetero Tower and became a part of it. We're close to having our own secret tunnel. When that time comes, take everything we've left behind and go to Dominic's era. Oh, by the way, I want to name this tunnel extending from the Hetero Tower the Bridge Across Dreams. Doesn't it sound nice? If what you said is true, that sending the Sephiroth to other worlds can save everything, that everyone will come together, stand side by side, and beat the bad guys. But you probably couldn't make it happen. I'm not doing so good either. I can't go find Luna anymore. And let me help you finish your mission. The voices at Alpha's or Lucia's ear grow clearer. Our little hero. Alpha, why did you set out too? I'm sorry, Lucia. I'm sorry. We failed. I'm sorry we left you at the base. I'm sorry we made you walk our path. I'm sorry you had to suffer so much. I'm sorry. The grown-ups failed you. Can you forgive us? A crack has split the surface of that cold and hardened shell. The agony of the fog's corruption feels as though it happened only yesterday. Her skin peeling away, her flesh eaten through, even the color of her hair bleached to white. Every detail remains painfully vivid. And yet, none of that compares to the anguish of watching the Vanguard team vanish into the distance. Perhaps the deadliest poison in all the world is regret and loneliness. Another soul long steeped in that poison speaks now, her voice hoarse. Time stopped for me the day I lost you all. In the beginning, there was only regret. I shouldn't have looked up at the dome. I should have kept my eyes on you. If I had just been paying attention, maybe you wouldn't have vanished. For the longest time, I thought you were dead. I thought you'd been buried under rubble, crushed by a falling ceiling panel. It wasn't until I had no choice but to accept the crown, until I gained access to the knowledge I was never meant to have, that another possibility finally hit me. The Chimera forces out a bitter smile, one that belongs to Joanne. What if you two had simply gone somewhere beyond my reach? Somewhere I couldn't see or touch? Did that mean I still had a chance? A chance to find you? To give you the crown? Could I bring you back? And could we still save the world? The one we all refused to let go of? The Chimera cradles Alpha close against her. I'm sorry. This is the only way I can talk to you now. But I finally found you. Joanne. Alpha finds herself nearly breathless, wrapped in an embrace she never thought she'd feel again. What identity should she wear? What heart should she bring? To face this bond drifting in a forgotten corner of the universe, this friendship, or perhaps this obsession. Lucia, you don't need to tell me. I know I've done wrong. While I was resenting the punishing virus for taking my friends away, I was doing the exact same thing to the friends of another world. I've said my apologies to all of you, millions of times in my head, but I know not a single one can undo what I've done. Joanne wrenches her head around and lets out a piercing shriek. That's just how the world works. To do what's right, to grab that final chance, I had no choice but to stand on the wrong side for now. Torn between regret and helplessness, Joanne speaks, burying one of her faces in both hands, as though the shame of facing an old friend, of facing the world at all, has finally overwhelmed her. They all fought with their lives for this. 3,162 FOS students and faculty, all of humanity. Their sacrifices bought me this chance. I can't let their deaths mean nothing. This crown, it's so heavy, but I have no right to run from it. Heavy is the crown. I am a survivor of the old world and a sinner in your new world. Behind those buried features, a hollow, bitter smile fights its way onto her face. I will cease to be. Just think of us as the scapegoats this story needs, alright? The Chimera arrives and tears at itself once more, its thoughts visibly unraveling. Different voices spill from its many faces, rival consciousnesses, each clawing to be heard. Alpha stares at those familiar yet chaotic faces, each one parading before her in turn. Their mouths gape open, and the only... Oh, that went by quick. And the only words they speak are, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, that was just part of the thing. I'm sorry. And yet their hands hold fast to Alpha, refusing to let go. Forgive us for doing whatever it took. This thread of sanity is all we have left to hold on to. Every single moment the fog and crown ate away at our minds, we held on to the good old days. Those memories, they're the only reason we lasted this long. Let's go back now, and promise me never leave me behind again, okay? Our dear little Lucia, we failed you. We'll take you back right now. We'll promise never to leave you behind again, okay? With the whole of it settling upon her, Alpha's lips begin to tremble. That's an interesting one here. Promise me never leave me behind again. That's Joanne speaking. And then, dear little Lucia, we failed you. We'll promise never to leave you behind. That's the Vanguard. Or, I guess, like Leora. Well, what can I do to save you? Dear grown-ups, what can I do to save you or help you? Dear friends, what can I do to support you? If I wear the crown, I can take you home. The Chimera's last strand of hope manages only a sigh, one that scarcely sounds human. Within the fog, all those long stripped of their home resonate as one. Oh? The Chimera lets out a piercing shriek. The crown crashes down upon the Chimera with crushing weight, ripping away the last shred of reason, seeking to transform it into something utterly lost. Yes, home. I want to go home. We want to go home. This long, cruel ordeal. We have lived it for far too long. We have nothing left to give. Alpha remains trapped in the Chimera's grip, her gaze drifting past it to the FOS starship, battered, wounded, on the verge of collapse. Along its hull, the tiny white moths are still beating their wings. Cover me while I'm moving in. Blade in hand, Lucia gives chase, only for the failures to come flooding from every rift of the fog. They rampage blindly, battering her mid-bound and sending her crashing back against the FOS. Watch out! The human lunges forward, catching Lucia as she tumbles down, and drives her blade into the hull. Their deadly slide grinds to a halt just short of the edge. I'm fine. We can't let it take Alpha. In a single motion, Lucia rolls upright, hauls the human up, and lunges back into a sprint. Her frame roars under the strain, and deep within her mind, a current of unease churns relentlessly. Instinct tells her that if the Chimera takes Alpha away, the consequences will be beyond undoing. Without hesitation, she contacts the FOS starship. All units stand by for covering fire. Lucia raises her head. Across the boundless void, the two Lucias lock eyes for a single moment. One of them lets out a thin, weary laugh. Perhaps it is the fog's gift of one unwanted sight. Too much vision, too much truth, leaving her sharp with clarity and heavy with exhaustion. Perhaps it is the sight of this world's vanguard team, still clawing and struggling, utterly unaware that they are fated only to be swallowed by failure. Look, this world's ordeal has yet to end. Alpha understands now, with absolute clarity, that she can never lay down the struggle. She must take up the will of the other worlds and fight on, eternally, without end. This is her fate, the starting point of Lucia. If I take the crown, there's still a chance, right? Even if it costs all of you? The Chimera has collapsed entirely into chaos, capable now of nothing but incoherent wailing. Alpha has made her choice. Held fast in the grip of these maddened old friends, she tightens her hand around her blade and begins to fight back. She grits her teeth and wrenches one arm free, shoving away the familiar faces that crowd around her. Then she draws her blade, strikes to sever the Chimera's arms, and claws fiercely at the core nestled in the fissure of its chest, perhaps the crown itself, only for the Chimera to swat the blade from her grasp. Doesn't matter. I don't need it. Alpha's hand lashes out with desperate resolve, plunging deep into the Chimera's chest, tearing through the blue-violet mass in search of what she needs. The Chimera lowers two of its heads, sinking teeth deep into Alpha's shoulders, and begins to tear. This is nothing. You've all endured far worse. The Chimera snaps both of Alpha's arms, and Alpha answers with her teeth. She too sinks them into the Chimera's neck and chest, tearing back with raw ferocity. Like the most primitive of humans gnawing at bloodied flesh, save that both of them hold tears of blood. Lucia catches sight of Alpha's sudden, feral counterattack and freezes for half a heartbeat, then drives herself forward even faster. Don't worry. Don't push it. We're coming. Her cry cannot bridge the distance to Alpha, so Lucia lifts her blade and sends a razor-edged arc slashing through the void. But the distance is too vast. The energy wave carries for only a moment before the void devours it whole. Damn it! A sudden tightness grips Lucia's chest. The burning emotions within her mind clog the energy flow of her Omega core, leaving it sluggish and strained. Hurry. We have to do something. Commandant! Got it. Target Chimera. We push upward again. Target locked. Vanessa's voice filters through the comms in broken fragments, carrying with it a thread of weary mockery. Honestly, my whole career just running support for someone? To hell with that. Fire! The erupting force field slams into the Chimera, jolting its escape route several degrees off course. Alpha is still clutched tightly in its arms. There's our opening! Go! Lucia and the human leap upward together. With a swift stroke of her blade, Lucia cuts down the monsters blocking their path. The moment her blade strikes true, their data floods into her. Countless memories of failure surge through her mind, each one a dull, throbbing ache. Right. Everyone here in the fog has lost their home. But I'm not losing mine. Not again. Now! Strike, Lucia! There she goes! Go on, girl! The white moth shoots skyward in a blur, bringing her blazing blade down upon the Chimera's body. It hurts! It hurts! The blow wrenches the Chimera's arms loose, and Alpha spills from its grasp in a tumble. Leap up! The human catches Alpha securely. Good catch. Only to find her body ravaged and torn from the Chimera's savage assault. Seeing another familiar face, Alpha shuts her eyes against the pain, letting herself feel the arms wrapped firmly around her. How am I supposed to face you now? Strike with her, Alpha! The human cradles Alpha's head, forehead pressed to forehead, fingers gripping her ears while shouting. The fog degrades all information and sound is no exception. Yet through the haze, a memory surfaces within Alpha from that long-lost world. Two figures in bulky spacesuits clumsily pressed together in the void of space, confessing their feelings to one another. Just like now. Comms cut off, no sound able to carry across the silence, only visor against visor. But even then, the information reached the depths of their hearts. Open your eyes, Alpha! Something in the touch against her brow and ears resonates deep within, forcing her eyes to open. Before her, the human's lips seem to shape words she knows by heart. Lucia, just beside her, labors over her torn body. Right. To not lose where I belong again. To go back home. I can still fight. I can do it. I can do it. Alpha staggers to her feet and takes the blade Lucia offers. The wounds along her arm push back against the fog's corruption, flooding her limbs with renewed strength. Vanessa stands on the deck, her gaze fixed on the figures battling above. Ooh, allow me another mode. Soon, a streak of red light blazes to life. The Chimera recoils from the devastating blow, shrieking as it falls back. It thrashes like one drowning, cleaving through the fog that coils around it. More vagabonds pour from the rifts, surging toward the insects swarming below. Not far away, adrift in the gray, humanity's ark floats on, and its communications tower still flickering defiantly. Comms tower's holding. Babylonia's message came through, and Lucia and that reckless fool made it to the Chimera. Vanessa tallies the situation in her mind, then the starship lurches beneath her and she stumbles. She steadies herself, but barely. Great, but everything's falling apart. What's next? Right, activate the beacon in the monument to restart the main engine. She clamps on her hand over the wound in her arm, but still the blood flows relentlessly out of her. Her life ebbs with it, her consciousness dimming at the edges. Even so, she forces her gaze upward, watching the two little moths fly toward the Chimera. Then she lets out a sneer. Now I get it. Some people are born to chase the stars right to the edge. And some are destined to stay stuck on the ground on the deck, looking up at their backs in shame. She touches the hollow where her eye used to be. But that's our job. Without people like us, who the hell catches you idiots and lunatics when you fall? Slowly, she raises her uninjured arm and gestures toward the Grey Raven Commandant and Lucia, soaring through the sky above. She salutes the fallen. Tell Instructor Eliana I said hi. She opens the comms, broadcasting to all units. Tell the stars I said hi. No, Vanessa, you ain't gonna die. She walks toward the next duty she must bleed herself dry to fulfill. She walks toward the monument. All units! Anyone near the square monument, get that beacon inside it activated at all costs. Everyone else still breathing and moving. Get to the main engine and restart it. I don't care if you use the control room or climb the damn thing yourself. We give everything we've got to support the Grey Raven Commandant and Lucia. Banger. That was really short. On the FOS deck. On the smoke-scorched, battle-damaged deck of FOS, someone wrote those words in blood. No one who lights a torch in the dark should ever be forgotten. Ooh, a good one. That's a good line. I like that. Can you still get up? If you can still stand, let's move. We need to activate the beacon inside the FOS monument, and then... one word. Pyros. I'm so afraid of how much I will miss you. Bitter Traveler achievement. I like that Lucia Pyroth is fire, and then Alpha Inverse Crown is ice. Ooh! Look at the Lucia's Pyroth.
回避してください。傷口が切り液に侵食されます。分かってるわよ。ダン。無双。胸。全と断絶。不死不滅。深淵よ。ひれ伏すがいい。全と断絶。全と断絶。全と断絶。それ。ダン。また未練を抱えた故郷を失ったもの。
Oh god, it's Hetero Hive Mother again?
無双キュート踏破栄宝よ愛好の王をつかめ
Oh, that didn't hit at all. Gotcha.
キリがないまだ耐えられますはあはあそれキュート踏破栄宝よ愛好の王をつかめ無双はあ無双キュート踏破深淵よひれ体の制御権が奪われている断絶ジャンキュート踏破栄宝よ愛好の王をつかめ
Oh no, can't deal any damage to them now.
いいわ本気を出してあげる絶対に倒れるわけには
As Chimera's sanity crumbles, more and more rifts tear through the fog. Lost vagabonds rampage through the fog, lashing out blindly at anything and everything, as if venting rage pent up from enduring corruption for far too long. Lucia props herself up with her blade and stands, struggling to keep the Omega Core feeding energy to her frame. The human kneels in the corner, fingers trembling weakly around the gun, drained of strength. The FOS starship drifts in silence through the fog. For half an hour now, not a single shot has been fired. Concerned for the little ship, the human steals a glance back, only to find its lights faint and faltering, about to die. This is a long, grinding battle of endurance, one that might well have no end. Get up. All eyes can see it now. The vagabonds within the fog are massing, pressing close to one another as the Chimera guides their alignment, gathering force for one strike meant to kill. Damn it. I have to move away. Alpha's grip on her own body is slipping too. The The vessel Luna shaped for her cannot withstand the anguish seeping in from multiple worlds. And yet, even then, when the horde of vagabonds launches forward like a hail of arrows, descending upon the solitary figure trapped in a corner of the fog, it is Alpha who cries out first. "Lucia, move!" The doom, long in the making, locks onto Lucia and comes driving straight for her. "Lucia!" Alpha's frame, shattered nearly to the point of dismemberment, suddenly surges with power. She charges forward, crimson katana raised high. The human lunges ahead as well. Lucia senses two lightning-fast figures plant themselves in front of her. One gray, one red and white. Alpha shoves the human aside, but the shockwave of the vagabond still strikes. A gash tears open, blood streaming freely, and it's clear the human is now dragged to the brink of death. I'm fine. Gaping hole in my frickin' abdomen. Yeah, I'm good. Frickin' hell, man. I'll just put a band-aid on it. I'll be fine. And through the gaping hole torn through Alpha's abdomen, Lucia finds herself face to face with the massive swarm of vagabonds on the other side. Oh no, that's giving me flashbacks now. Ooh boy. Golden red flames blaze to life along her katana as Lucia swings, cleaving through the vagabond's limbs. Why won't they stop? I cut them down and they just keep coming. Why? You knew my frame could outlast yours. You knew the fog would make your wounds worse. And Commandant. The human's face is ghostly pale, the blood draining from the body far faster than anyone could have imagined. Why does it have to be this way? Why won't it ever stop? With bitter rage, Lucia slashes through the enemies, guarding the human and Alpha as they retreat onto a drifting platform that appears steady enough. Doom shows no sign of pausing. Within moments, the relentless flurry carves fresh gashes across Lucia's frame as well. This is a total collapse, not something that can be stopped by one person standing at the front to shield the others. It's fine. I'm fine. I can still keep going. I'm fine too. I'm also. Blood no longer pours from the human's mouth and nose. There's likely none left to spill. From the great wound in Alpha's abdomen, crimson liquid still drips in a steady rhythm. Her frame is moments from breaking apart, yet she forces herself onto her knees, brushing aside all efforts to restrain her. By now, she's probably holding herself upright on nothing but a spine of sheer will. Too many vagabonds. If we don't clear them out, we can't reach the Chimera. We have to take the crown from inside its body. Lucia throws a stunned glance over her shoulder, as though trying to determine if Alpha has also succumbed to the fog's corrupting madness. After all, from the moment Alpha tore herself from the Chimera's embrace, she has been consumed by an obsessive need to extract something from it, whispering words over and over that Lucia cannot grasp. But even a split second of distraction costs her several more wounds, ones that refuse to heal. Such wounds would typically mean little to her, but from the speed at which energy seeps out of them, she senses that under some influence, the Chimera has quickened the decay of all things. Crown. Decay? She suddenly realizes she can no longer remember how many wounds cover her body. Her sense of her own frame is being stripped away. 19 wounds, 59, or 109. The data in her mind is indeed slipping away without restraint. She can feel her grip on her body and her memories weakening with terrifying speed. She is vanishing. The Chimera is erasing them all. A kind of erasure far more dreadful than being killed in battle. Suddenly, Lucia darts back to where the human and Alpha are, sinking to one knee. There she meets Alpha, still fighting on her knees, face to face, their gazes holding. That dream you had when the Chimera was holding you. Tell me, how terrifying was it really? So terrifying you can't bear to lose anything anymore? Or anything more? So much that you'd throw your life away for something I can't even understand? I don't know how to put that into words. This isn't just some simple investigation anymore, the kind Babylonian dispatches task force squads to handle. I'm not completely in the dark here. I can feel something in my mind. Alpha! Mid-sentence, Lucia bats away a lunging vagabond, but not before it carves another wound into her frame. As of this moment, Lucia bears 195 wounds across her frame. Alpha closes her eyes for a moment. Just losing people who matter most in my life. Over and over. Not just in this world. I've had those dreams too. Watching the people who matter die right in front of you, again and again. If you're lucky, there's half a limb left. More often, it's just a pool of blood, nothing left to hold on to. Can't even recover their things, just clinging to scraps or their last words, turning them into something you have to live by no matter what. Trapped in the fog, can't even cry out, fighting and fighting with no end in sight. Lucia's voice rises. She can't help but recall that frantic, desperate flight she relives over and over in her dreams. A space just like this one, empty in every direction, her visual modules flickering between black and white, until her perception spirals into chaos, leaving only the sense of moving through fog. And in that dream, what was she fighting for? All that time, I failed to protect you. I can't watch you die again. This is the future I've always longed for. A peaceful world and a world where you're there. Alpha gazes at Lucia, and in those desperate eyes she sees a reflection identical to her own. Alpha lifts a broken arm as if to brush away the tangled strands of her hair covering one of Lucia's eyes. Why even you? I need you to understand. We're the same. What terrifies you terrifies me. What drives you drives me. Ever since we first reunited, you've been like this, keeping to yourself, refusing to let anyone in, carrying everything alone without a word. Ugh. The vagabond's onslaught grows ever more frenzied, and at last a claw finds its mark, piercing through Lucia's shoulder. Her 196th wound. So you tell me, Alpha. Tell me, if I get this crown Saphira you talked about, if I bring it to you, will that fix everything? Slowly, Lucia draws the broken limb piece, lodged in her shoulder, out from the wound. Will that take everyone back home? Her voice is thick with pleading. The pain racking both Lucius is so overwhelming that they can barely make out each other's silhouettes. Yet both can still see, with perfect clarity, what they are fighting for. Yes. Alpha nods. Within motion, crimson droplets scatter from the ends of her hair, splashing onto the human's forehead. I have to get the Crown Saphira's power, even if it means death. You see, I'll keep fighting. You watch over Commandant. Lucia lifts the dying human and gently settles the broken body beside Alpha, leaving the two battered figures propped against each other. This is my fight too. Lucia, how much longer can you last? Forever. I can last forever. Lucia answers through the gray dimness. I have the Omega Core. I will never fall. Lucia's auditory module is failing as well. She can barely make out the sound of her own voice now. But she knows exactly what she's been turning over in her mind ever since she landed beside the other two, the Omega Core. Using the data from Project Winter, the Hyperreal Frame's records, the Phantom Tracer, and our enhanced Omega weapon, we combined everything to use that egg as the carrier for creating an Omega Core. Beyond granting immunity to the punishing virus, the Omega Core lets the body harness punishing as an energy source, like an ascendant, so it no longer needs stasis pod recharges and can operate continuously. She rises and walks toward the chimera, shrouded in the fog. As she moves, it strikes her once more. The energy driving her frame was built on the efforts of countless people. Vera, Liv, Nanami, Bianca, even Lamia, Luna. Thank you for putting Vera first on that list, by the way. A shriek. Another vagabond shoots out of a rift, skimming past her left arm and leaving behind a new gash. Her 197th wound. Right. We clawed our way out of hopeless desperation too, fighting tooth and nail just for a chance. A vagabond charges with a howl. Lucia is quicker. She impales it in one thrust and casts the corpse aside or away. By now, her composure has turned chillingly steady, yet the assault still carves new wounds into her frame. Her 198th. We have to end this now. No more dragging. Neither of us can outlast the fog. Battered and broken, Alpha charges forward with the human's equally shattered body in her arms, sprinting toward a sparser patch of vagabonds to buy a moment's reprieve. Lucia's gaze locks onto Alpha's silver hair. At some point, the tips have taken on a crimson-black hue, the exact same shade as her own. You're the same. You do the same in my place. Alpha doesn't look back. She just leaves her with a single line. Remember this. The one left behind suffers more than the one who falls. Alpha has clearly seen through her thought. But let me be selfish this once. Lucia tightens her grip on the blade. Her gaze finds the human's hand, and for a fleeting moment, it's as if she's holding it gently in hers. It's my call now. Everything humanity built during the Reconquista age, it's been handed to me. Time to use it. Lucia breaks into a sprint, trudging straight toward the chimera, cutting down every vagabond that stands in her way. Then, the thrusters mounted on her frame erupt with fire. She soars alone into the vast void. Alpha doesn't stop. She can feel the life ebbing from the body in her arms as she keeps running, searching for somewhere safe. She won't stop, because she knows she has become the guardian now, the one left behind to carry on. The Chimera too seems to grasp the unspoken understanding shared by the two Lucias. It sweeps a hand forward, and a wave of vagabonds surges toward Lucia, clawing and tearing in a frenzy to stop her. Her 199th wound. Her 200th wound. Lucia raises her blade, again, and for the last time. The fog is where the vagabonds roam free. You might never be able to defeat them here. And that dream of mine, this frame's Omega Core kept me going for many, many years. But this time is different. I'm not fighting this alone, and none of you can last forever the way I can. The fog's eating away at everyone, bit by bit. She too once had a dream much like Alpha's. The loneliness from it still haunts her. It's alright. It's alright. I can get through this. This frame is gonna get me through this. Commandant, I miss you. I miss you so much. She fears becoming that Lucia wandering in the fog, the one who kept whispering, "It's alright" to herself. She fears becoming that Lucia who repeated endlessly how much she missed Commandant, how desperately she wanted to see Commandant again. Oh my god, it's playing Burning Vow. In every minute she's stood guard at Commandant's side, she's been silently turning over that Lucia's anguish, reliving the terror that consumed her. If everyone's gone, and I'm the only one left standing, then what was any of it for? She can't go through that again. I'll buy everyone the time they need, while I still can. She meets Chimera's attack head-on, racing along its arm, drawing closer and closer to its face. She reaches the Chimera's forehead. I have to become you. At last, she raises her gaze and looks back. She never dared voice this before, afraid of worrying everyone. And now, as if truly submerged in that dream, she finally speaks the heavy burden she's carried all along. I'm so afraid of how much I will miss you. Lucia stops before Chimera and raises her pyro katana high, aiming the blade at her own chest where the Omega Core glows with gentle warmth. She will no longer be the flame standing vigil through the endless night. Instead, she will ignite herself first, become a beacon that lights the way home for those who follow. Pyro Katana pierces the core. Radiant flames erupt, flooding the gray expanse with the only color it has ever known. The flames wash over every vagabond, tenderly soothing them, freezing their attacks mid-motion. The flames sweep through the fog, forcing back every last vagabond. Even the FOS starship is shoved backward by the sheer force of the energy unleashed. Only one figure remains. Alpha lowers her gaze to the human in her arms. That breath is so faint she cannot bring herself to check if it still comes. So it seems her wish has been granted. She is the last one left alive. She watches as the flames sweep across everything in the fog, finally enveloping the Chimera itself. The agonized behemoth writhes in the fire. Lucia's flames sear into its body, burning one blackened hollow after another. Both Leora and Joanne have lost all control over this body. They are nothing more than puppets now, dancing on despair's strings. But another will, or more precisely, another data, forces its way into the fused creature through the scorched wounds, locking it in place. After a few seconds, the Chimera's shell stirs. The crown seems locked in a fierce tug-of-war with Lucia's consciousness, and the creature begins thrashing violently. Until a hand rips the skin from its face, and from the hollow cavity beneath comes a voice, gentle and achingly familiar. Now. I'll finish this. Last one standing takes it all. Alpha lunges forward at breakneck speed. With a shrieking roar, her katana shears through two of the Chimera's arms. A few years back, we were at each other's throats. Just like this. Alpha's mind drifts to her first encounter with Lucia among the ruins. From that very day, the two of them have always chosen this path. I look forward to your choice after learning about the truth. The truth. Again and again. The Chimera stops tearing open rifts. The vagabonds dwindle, cut down one by one. Alpha hacks and slashes at the Chimera. When it lifts an arm to fend her off, she hacks it free. When its tail comes thrashing, she drives it through and nails it still. We make different choices. We walk different paths, but still wind up in the same place. Finally, as the Chimera lets out a piercing shriek, Alpha drives her blade clean through, pinning the creature to the cold, lifeless hull of the FOS starship. Is it over? Is this the end? Or the starting point I always circle back to? Can all of you still give me an answer? Alpha staggers to her feet and raises her blade once more. The Chimera trembles as it extends its last two remaining arms. The crown. Take it. The crown, carrying every happiness for you. Can the last one left to bear all that pain truly still be called happy? But Alpha has no time to dwell on such questions. She watches as the Chimera's two arms arc through the air, then plunge viciously into its own colossal frame. It churns through flesh and sinew, rips free a formless mass, and lifts it toward Alpha like an offering. Go to that world of happiness. Happiness. See. Lucia, wait for us at the base, alright? I promise you, we'll succeed this time. We'll put an end to this crisis. We'll be there for you as you grow up. We'll make sure you have a happy life. I hope you live a life filled with happiness, Lucia. I had no idea about tonight. It's just alumni catching up over dinner, right? Lucia, Betty, I wish you. Joanne doesn't finish. I held on as long as I could, but the moment I found you, the fog and the crown devoured my mind. All I wanted was to pass the crown's power to you, because you're the only one who can wear it. But I lost myself and only hurt you more. I'm sorry. I know I probably don't have the right to say this anymore, but this is the only chance I could give you. Don't waste it. Don't let everything be lost. The fog before Alpha begins to shift and flow, painting scenes from the past across her vision. I really love this illustration here, because it really takes in that phrase of heavy is the crown. This crown is like, because of that, it's pretty symbolic. Like everyone's like hopes and wishes on that crown, and Alpha here has to wear that. Heavy is the crown. Side note, Heavy is the Crown by Linkin Park, really good song. It's as if countless figures stand before her, hands stained with blood, bodies broken, and gently place the crown upon her head. Thus is born a queen, broken and utterly spent. Go, lead everyone home, back to a world of happiness. Nobody that wears a crown came with the name of peace. That's a good one too. That's a good quote. Yep. And as you would know, like a crown, you'd always think of like royalty or a king or a queen or whatever, and always those who wear that crown, they have a huge responsibility to take on. So Lucia or Alpha in this one right here, that's a big responsibility she has. It was a random Tumblr quote. It's a good one though. Oh, what? Ishmael? Jump scare? What the hell? Ishmael just shows up behind her. What the heck? Oh shit. Is that who I think it is? With that little... What is that little mask doing over there? I see you. What are you doing over there, buddy? Crown. One day, beyond all the paths that pulled us apart, we will find our way back together. It is always difficult to be born. You know the bird did not find it easy to struggle out of the egg. Think back and ask yourself, was the way so hard then? Wasn't it beautiful too? Could you have wished a more beautiful or easier path? It was hard, I said as if I were asleep. It was hard until the dream came. Yes, you must find your dream. Then the way becomes easy. But no dream lasts. Each dream releases a new one. And you should not wish to cling fast to any particular one. While the dream is your fate, and as long as you remain faithful to it, she confirms in serious tones. You, fate, loves you indeed. Or your fate. Your, it should be. It's missing an R. I'm assuming it's supposed to be your fate. It's missing an R. Your fate loves you indeed. One day it will be wholly yours as you dream it as you dream it will be if you remain constant to it. Surrounded by the Vanguard team, no, by the Fallen, Alpha put on the crown fate that had always been hers. If life is a journey to find oneself, then hers is a story of searching for where fate begins. The crown is dripping life. Putrid flesh and greasy fat from the fallen ooze onto her scalp. Streams of blood and vital fluid, thinner in viscosity, slide down her face, spilling through her eye sockets, following the curve of her cheekbones. It all collects at her chin into one rotten tear. The new queen is crying. She lifts her hand and roughly wipes her chin, smearing away the blood-flecked, putrid tears. She then rises. The vagabonds grovel at her feet, clawing gashes across her legs, and she lets them. My body feels so heavy. It's really the crown that's making it heavy. Perhaps realizing she cannot escape the fate of carrying the fallen, the new queen feels the weight crushing down upon her. Even so, she must act. She must push those who can still be saved toward the light. She reaches into the fog, and a thought surfaces in her mind. I can finally read this fog. I should ask first. Let the universe show me the answer. Seething with hatred, she threatens the universe and asks her first question since being crowned. The crown, the Sephiroth. What are they? How do I bring them all back to a world of happiness? Her voice blankets the fog. It is a command. The new queen will not allow any disobedience. The fog churns an answer. Fully parsed, information becomes something reachable, legible, even pliable. This is the power of the crown. She extends a finger and, like the chimera, tears a rift through the fog. A vagabond tumbles out, thrashing, bewildered. She crooks her knuckle. The vagabond claws desperately at her finger, drawing thin lines of blood, but she flicks it back anyway. Return. You do not have the answers I seek. I need something more comprehensible. Ideally, a person who can offer a proper explanation. She surveys every soul that has ever lived, searching the pristine white void for a fitting interpreter. At last, she points to one. Oh, that's Cassandra. Right? That's Cassandra. I can see she's holding the glass cup or whatever in her hand. A skeleton, to be precise. The construct's bionic skin is scorched to black, her metal limbs torn clean away. A female construct who died guarding FOS. And at Alpha's command, the remains pull themselves together in the fog, reforming into human shape, resuming that flamboyant, prideful posture she once had. Huh. Me? Darling, I was just dead weight in the Vanguard team. What could I possibly know? Wait, she was part of the Vanguard team? Oh shit, okay. Cassandra, restored and radiant again, is fiddling with a lotus flower in her left hand, busy with who knows what, while her right hand sweeps dramatically toward her own face. A lotus flower in her left hand, huh? The perspective snaps close. Alpha has settled beside her, knees drawn up. Before this rather unreliable grown-up, Alpha finds, strangely, a certain peace. This reference to the Cassandra truth. Is that a thing? What is that? Is that an actual thing? Oh, it's a metaphor. Ah, knowledge is such power. You get to learn so many things. A metaphor. Is sneaking literature into work? Yeah, I love that. I really love that about Kuro, man. Because I get to learn so many different things I've never heard of. On top of that, vocabulary, because they use a lot of different words that I've never heard of as well, alongside like references to literature. Wow. The Cassandra metaphor, variously labeled the Cassandra syndrome, complex phenomenon, predicament, dilemma, curse, relates to a person whose valid warnings or concerns are disbelieved by others. Oh, I see. That's interesting. Interesting. It originates in Greek mythology. Cassandra was a daughter of Priam, the king of Troy. Struck by her beauty, Apollo provided her with the gift of prophecy on the condition that she agreed to accept his romantic advances, but when she refused Apollo's romantic advances, he placed a curse on her, ensuring that nobody would believe her warnings. Cassandra was left with the knowledge of future events, but could neither alter these events nor convince others of the validity of her predictions. Oh, interesting. Cassandra metaphor is applied by some psychologists to individuals who experience physical and emotional suffering as a result of distressing personal perceptions, and who are disbelieved when they attempt to share the cause of their suffering with others. That's fascinating. Yeah, I know about Vonnegut. In fact, the other day, no, actually it was like last week, I went to a bookstore and I bought a Kurt Vonnegut book. I got Slaughterhouse 5. It was the only Vonnegut book they had on the shelf. But I know that there's Cat's Cradle. I know about Sirens of Titan or whatever. And I would love to get those books as well. I haven't read Slaughterhouse 5 yet, but because I'm currently reading Count of Monte Cristo, but I'll read it next after I finish Count of Monte Cristo. But yeah, I know about Vonnegut. That's really cool. Anyway, back to the stream. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Because you're someone I'm more familiar with, in at least 2 worlds, you lent me a hand. At least 2? Oh, I remember now. A little restless, Cassandra rubs her legs. There was a world where a punishing corrupted steel giant ripped them clean off. The memory of that pain still haunts her. She can't help but fidget. Conte Monte Cristo. You have the book, but the letters are too tiny. Yeah, the one I have, though, I actually have a photo of it. Let me quickly pull it up and show it. Hold on. A little brief intermission here. But I have a photo of the book. I took a photo of it. It's pretty big. This is the Count of Monte Cristo that I have. It's massive. Over 1,000 pages, over 100 chapters. I think I'm around chapter 30 right now or something. But it's really good so far. It's really good. Imagine they do a reference to Count of Monte Cristo in PGR. Bro, I would fucking die. So besides playing your college trustee in one world, we also crossed paths in some monastery in another, didn't we? And you can dig up even a passing encounter from that memory of yours? Here I thought I'd kept my little gig as FOS's trustee nicely under wraps. Back at the monastery, I spent my days perfecting the art of flower arrangement while the other constructs got dragged by that old abbot. They train themselves half to death and still keep going. The absolute fools. And you are the worst of them. Swinging that blade around day in, day out. Every time I'd take a stroll up the back mountain, there you'd be, passed out cold on the ground. Gave me a heart attack every single time. Really put a damper on my peaceful retreat, I'll have you know. Back then, I thought all that hard work meant you'd outrun your fate. In the end, here I am, helping you out anyway. Alpha sinks her blade into the floor of foam meant for the flower arrangement. Can you skip the long-winded speech this time? Cassandra scratches her head. Alright. I'll use the monastery as an example of something we both know, to keep it sound mild. Cassandra places the lotus as garnish as the woman herself into the floral foam right beside Alpha's katana. The moment the stem settles, countless luminous veins unfurl from the heart of the foam, reaching outward in every direction. White fog still drifts around them, but within its shroud, the Monastery of Purity has already manifested, a small world unto itself. Cassandra points to the center of the branching veins beneath them. Let's start here. Think of where we're sitting as the roots of a tree. Now look up and ahead. Alpha gazes ahead. The luminous veins have traced out a shape. Branches spreading wide. Fruits suspended from every limb. Across the surface of each fruit, faint silhouettes flicker. This is the ultimate form of civilizational evolution, or at least, the ultimate form among all existing civilizations. Branches and fruit, paths and Sephiroth. Still doesn't track. Good grief, you really are clueless, aren't you? How did it end up being you of all people? Are you seriously just some ordinary kid? Forget it. Just walk forward and see for yourself. It'll make a lot more sense than sitting here staring at the roots. Cassandra nudges Alpha to her feet. Alpha steadies herself, then ventures a single step forward. My blade. You won't need it to cut your way through this journey of happiness. We'll keep it safe for you for now. And don't be afraid. We're all here. Alpha's foot comes to rest upon one of the veins. Light travels up the length of her spine, and the world before her shifts in answer. We'll show you this system through things that make you feel happy. It's the simplest way, and the one you're most likely to understand. Keep walking. Go to the end, and back to the beginning. Then you'll understand. This is... Before her, a ruined stairwell. By the look of it, this research facility has lain abandoned for a long while. From somewhere on the floors nearby, Alpha catches a low hissing. It might be human, or the guttural muttering of something else entirely. Chaos, contamination. Why this world? And why after everyone had already set out? Because you need to ask yourself what you wanted back then, at the very beginning. Alpha frowns. She raises a hand and presses down on the door handle that leads out of the stairwell. Don't open it. A sound drifts through from behind the door, faint as a kitten's mew. When she pushes, the door pushes back just barely. Oh, was that little Lucia? Oh. It's gonna be okay. I'm not scared. I'm brave. Nothing can scare the brave little hero Alpha. Behind the door is a child drawing what meager happiness she can from delusion and self-encouragement. Alpha lets her hand fall from the handle. She looks around the stairwell again, descends 2 floors, and at the base of a low wall, discovers traces of the little hero being driven back step by step, struggling to survive. Dark red pen marks. I miss Mom and Dad and my little sister again. I miss Froggy. She reads as she climbs back up, step by step. I'm not too thirsty, but so hungry. One more floor up. I'm starting to miss Leora. Leora's spelled wrong. Her hand moves on its own, reaching out to trace the misspelled word. The strokes peel away at her touch, as if obeying her fingers. She holds this mistaken name in her hand, gazes at it for a long moment, and presses it into her chest. She climbs on, gathering up every word, each one small and sad and full of regret, as she goes. The monsters infected by chaos contamination had spread upward from the building's lowest depths. The little hero had retreated floor by floor until only the top remained. By the time she collects the last one, she is back at the door. A thin, exhausted sigh of the little hero slips through from inside. The monsters found me after all, didn't they? No. Fate found you first. I found you first. Alpha gives the door a few soft knocks, as tender as her mother's hand every morning, rousing her from sleep. Who's there? I'm an unimportant person. I just want to ask you something. What do you want? You can see what I want. You already took them all away from me. The voice is that of a child, yet it speaks with startling clarity. I want Mom and Dad back. I want my little sister. I want Leora and everyone else. I want Froggy. They're where I belong. Without them, I don't have a home anymore. The words land against Alpha's ears like a knocking. Aren't you the same as me? Lucia's happiness is in protecting where she belongs. You forgot that? Or have you lost that desire? I've been fighting fate so long. I think I really have lost all of that. And there's still a chance. A click sounds from behind the sealed emergency door. It opens of its own accord, just a crack. A timid voice slips through. A black-haired girl is speaking, asking the unimportant person, "Can you help me fight off those monsters? I need someone to clear the way so I can set out. I'm Hero Alpha. I've got Froggy. I've got the blade a grown-up gave me. I'm going to complete the mission." Ow. You're just a little kid. I have to. Find the crown Saphira and pass it to the next world. The child clutches her blade, murmuring, "Finish what the grown-ups couldn't. Find the people I love. Go to another world, be born as Mom's child again. Eat breakfast and dinner with Mom and Dad every day. Learn everything I want. I'll tell them I want a Froggy plush, and that I want a little sister. And then..." As the crack in the door widens, her gaze hardens into resolve, and her voice gathers strength until it rings with conviction. "I'll learn everything, explore endless possibilities, and finally, become a warrior like Leora and the others. I'll love everyone who loves me, and I'll be brave and give what I have." With those final words, she lifts her blade. This is a story I started. I'm the starting point. Alpha meets those glistening eyes and holds them. A long silence passes before she offers a quiet, knowing smile. "So this is the happiness you have been chasing since the beginning of fate?" I've been chasing?" "Yes." Lucia nods firmly. Alpha nods firmly. "All right. I'll clear out the chaos contaminants for you and remove whatever stands in your way." Alpha bends down and opens the door for her origin. But this world is falling apart as we speak. You need to run fast, Lucia. True to her word, Alpha cleanses the FOS research facility of every chaos contaminant that has gathered within. Then she watches as the original Lucia crawls out through the door, gathers the crown into her arms, crosses through the fog, and readies herself to leap from bridge across streams. "What's up?" "Hello, Leojun." Just before the jump, Lucia turns to look back at her. Go on, brave Alpha. But Lucia gathers all her gear into one arm, bringing the other. She then reaches out, stretching her hand toward Alpha. The fog rolls in, coiling through Lucia's hair, eating away its color until it bleaches white. She is becoming the Alpha from Leora's story now, the little hero who lights up the universe, the bold, fearless self she had only ever imagined. Come, I don't want to leave you behind, unimportant person. I want you to come with me. I have no reason to accept your invitation. I've probably wandered beyond the worlds. Because you look so lonely, so lost. And come with me. Feel what happiness actually is. You can't figure out what you're supposed to do until you've lived it yourself. She seizes Alpha by the wrist and, with all her strength, offers her a smile. Your true self has always been with you. Lucia has found where fate begins, Alpha. At last, she becomes one with herself, and from there plunges into the cycle of every world. First, she returns to her mother's womb. She is born. She sees her small, plump hands, the wind chimes tinkling above her cradle, and the froggy plush nestled beside her pillow, and she hears her parents' laughter drifting through the room. Slowly, she feels herself beginning to grasp what Cassandra meant by the happiness one dreams of. But wait. Who is Cassandra? Her feet carry her onward without thought, away from the tree's roots, one step, then another, from kingdom to foundation, onward through mercy, through beauty. Whoa! Hold on. Hold on. I know mercy is supposed to be live limpidity. Foundation is supposed to be Teddy. But kingdom and beauty? Could you imagine Leia? I know Leia's gonna be playable. Imagine she's the beauty Saphira. Because isn't Leia all about like her appearance and shit? Imagine she's beauty. That'd be one hell of a surprise. I don't know who Kingdom would be though. But my only guess for beauty would be Leia. But then again, it always feels like the Saphira frames would be for people who are very like significant in the cast of characters. So like the Grey Raven team and shit. Because there's Liv and then now Alpha. But then again, there's Foundation and that's supposed to be Teddy. Yeah. That's supposed to be Teddy. Huh. I mean, we only know of 5 Saphira frames. Or at least, or 5 as they said it at in the earlier parts. Or in the first half of this chapter, where they had 5 analyzed or readied. So there's Kingdom, Foundation, Mercy, Beauty, and then Alpha here is Crown. She forgets she is still walking the tree of fate. Her attention narrows to the present moment. See how much her mother's tender smile matters now. Cradle needs to be an emo once you get membered. Such happiness to have a sibling, to have a family. Sis. A little sister for Lucia. That sounds wonderful. Such happiness to get into the academy of her dreams. That academy uniform, by the way, is really cool. At the launch site of Dawn 3, Lucia is swept into the noisy, restless current of youth. Adelaide, Cadet Designation 004. As your peer, it is my responsibility to uphold the reputation and good order of our college. 004? Wow, 4th place and you've already appointed yourself hall monitor? I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I was rushing and wasn't looking where I was going. Are you okay? My name is Lucia. Your earphones came flying at my shoulder. Such happiness to honor and protect the ideals of those she holds dear. You know what I realized too? I know it was an alternate like timeline or whatever. But even so, it was Commandant and Lucia falling in love. It's so cute. Even though it's this version of Lucia. Or really the original. Because the Lucia we know that's part of the Grey Raven team, she's like she came after. So on a peaceful afternoon, just as the FOS graduation ceremony ends, she receives a sudden call from Luna. It's Luna in her graffiti coating. Rock. Band? A better love story than Twilight. It reminds me of that quote from Bleach, from Orihime. It's like, where she lists off 5 different occupations. Where she could have been a baker or a teacher or whatever. And then at the end, she was like, and through all those 5 different worlds, I would fall in love with the same person each time. It kind of reminds me of that. It's so romantic. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so cute. It's so lovely. With her little sister, sometimes things happen. The kind of moments that leave her caught between a sigh and a laugh. Yeah, we're gonna tag the alleyways with the band's name before the concert. Killer publicity, right? And then Mom said the police want a family member to come sign for you right now. Mom's at it again. We're not in Dad's precinct though, so he doesn't know yet, right? I'm close by. I'll head over. But first, who's in this little crew of yours? Did they round up everyone? Yeah. Me, Roland, Lamia, plus 2 others who tagged along last minute, but I'm betting they bail after today. Roland is the biggest fan? No, if Roland is part of the band. So, sis, our concert needs a new bassist. Like, urgently. I love that Luna in this one is like part of a rock band. Which brings us back to like her Luna Laurel coding where she's like a punk rock girl or whatever with like drumsticks or something. That's so cute. You want me in? Yeah. You've got 3 months before you ship out to the front lines. You're not seriously gonna sit around base the whole time, are you? With that friend of yours? Friend? Luna drags out the word on with that friend of yours? Like that? Luna drags out the word on purpose. Alright, Luna. I'll do it. You absolutely cannot tell Dad. Not a word. Which one? There's 2 of them. Both! I'm just kidding. Lucia is Lucia. Well, in this timeline, there's no second Lucia, but either way, whether it's the Alpha Lucia or the Lucia that we know of, that's part of Grey Raven, it seems like regardless of what timeline it is, Lucia and Commandant will just be together, it seems. Alpha and Lucia are like, I mean, they're Lucia, but at the same time, not Lucia. They're the same, but different. Basically, it's like Lucia is the one that completely takes a different path. It's like having it sounds so confusing when I'm trying to differentiate the two. But like two Lucias in one timeline. One that takes one path, the other takes another path. That sort of thing. But they're still Lucia at the end of the day. Because regardless of what path they take, and they kind of went over this in the previous note. Whichever, like one will go left, the other one will go right, but they'll end up in the same spot, or they have the same like destination in mind, or same sort of similar aspirations, which in this case is wanting to protect the ones they love. The ones they care about. Lucia is Lucia at the end of the day. And also, at the thought of that person, a smile rises from deep within Lucia. I haven't had the chance to tell you yet. Isabeni has decided to join command. We'll keep fighting side by side from now on. Such happiness. To fight for the preservation of every happiness this world holds. Lucia becomes a warrior. With her gun, she shatters the kneecaps of terrorists. Damn! With both hands, she cradles the flowers a child has offered her. Every now and then, she steals back to base and, within the narrow confines of a soldier's living space, conjures the grandest surprise she can muster. She celebrates several more birthdays among those she loves. More and more companions gather around her. The bonds between them, fine as silk threads, crisscross her life and tether her gently to this world, spinning a wide web of happiness. A river of joyful days and nights races past until it settles into one full mellow afternoon. I feel like I have everything I could ever want. She lies upon the bed, her eyes gently shut, and speaks to the one beside her. Ooh, lean in to listen. I know, this is exactly what we hoped for. Why is that one well, of course I'm going to pick the one that's specially highlighted. This is exactly what we hoped for. I'm so happy I could cry. Then cry. I'll always be here to wipe your tears away. But The one beside her pauses upon the sudden turn in her words. I've looked down at that web so many times. All those veins. There's always one small space that seems empty. A strand of silver thread torn apart. Something lost in the fog. The person at her side presses her hand gently, still full of tenderness. You're still set on finding what's missing. I think so. I've already seen it all. Complete happiness, start to finish, from a higher position. I've found where my fate began, and I've remembered the reason I chose to set out in the first place. That's why I believe that somewhere in a world that truly exists, there should be a Lucia like that. Even if her life had setbacks and suffering and pain, she could still reach the end and say without regret, throughout my life, I've had complete happiness. My dear Isabeni, will you do this with me? Even if it means this higher version of me has to bear all the suffering? Even if you have to watch me stay trapped in the fog forever? Will you join me in giving this real happiness to the one and only Lucia out there? Will you help me make it happen and leave behind a Lucia who is completely happy? The one beside her answers, firm and unwavering in every word. I will. And I'll stay by the side of that happy Lucia forever. And I'll stay by your side forever, even as you suffer. of that happy Lucia forever. I'll say that. Death draws her back into the void, and she goes with reluctance. Alpha opens her eyes. She finds herself standing atop the fruit of the crown. Cassandra is gone. The tiny realm is gone. All that remains is the fog and a trail of fresh hoofprints. Alpha follows one step at a time until she finds the little lamb waiting beneath the tree. Soft, spotless, and fragile, the lamb gazes at her. She knows what it is. Usabeni, Chimera the scapegoat, every soul that was lost. Come, let's begin. Alpha and the lamb wait together beneath the tree, faithful to their promise, watching for the black-haired Lucia to be born in one of the worlds. At last, a curled figure takes shape among the branches. She bears no wounds, no scars, the most complete version of herself. There she is. The one void I need to fill. The only Lucia across all universes who still hasn't found happiness. The Omega Core in Lucia's chest still lies dim. The power she unleashed in the fog has drained the last of her life away. Alpha gently smooths the hair back from Lucia's brow, revealing a forehead clean and unmarred. And the crown can fix that. Alpha draws close to Lucia until the tips of their noses touch and their foreheads press gently together. Mom used to do this. I picked it up from her. Alpha begins to channel the crown's power, and a soft radiance ignites within her left eye. So this power was always ours. Alpha starts to make her choices. What if Lucia never lost Luna? What if she never went with Nicola? She'd grow up healthy and strong, full of hope, become a fine soldier, find someone to love. Maybe she'd make it to a command position. Never turned into a construct, never joined the original Grey Raven, never betrayed by Ravenge, never learned to hate, never had her mind fractured, never used as a test subject. Alpha releases a long, slow breath. And there'd be no Lucia of Grey Raven. The universe follows the law of conservation. One thing dies, another is born. Same principle. If I choose a different path, Lucia of Grey Raven will not exist. But no matter what, I want at least one version of me, of Lucia, to be happy. Even if there's only one world left. Even if everything else stops existing. Even if I lose the family from those dreams. Even if I lose the one I could have spent my life with. Even if I become unable to protect the people I love. Unable to fight for that happiness. Left adrift. Questioning. Struggling without end. Alpha thinks back to that lost self of hers. Sinking in a crimson abyss. Locked away in the prison of fate. Even so, I still want to do it. You've come so far, climbed so high, searched through those similar dreams over and over. Isn't this what you've been seeking all along? And you risked everything to give me the crown for this very reason. For the first time, Alpha nuzzles close, forehead brushing against forehead, as though reliving the warm and happy past the crown had shown her. Those paths she is slowly, quietly choosing to let go. What if I take all the negativity in this universe, malice, misery, and suffering, and converge all onto myself? Then you'd be wrapped in nothing but happiness, right? Alpha murmurs. And that's what I'll do. Let me walk the cursed path. I will see it through. Tiny motes of light travel along the tree's branching veins, rising from Lucia's still limbs to gather at her heart as her eyes remain shut. With every fragment restored, the branch that belongs to Alpha, the path she has chosen to forsake, withers a little more. Yet the one who gives does so gladly, as though the sacrifice itself were sweet. Because she knows a tragedy is at last being undone. We'll go back soon, back to the fog to face the Chimera again. You won't have to detonate your Omega Core to save everyone this time. Don't forget your own words. We're the same. You do the same thing in my place. Alpha's gaze now sweeps across past, present, and future alike, reaching even into other world lines. It has granted her the greatest of all privileges, the right to choose. Lucia's lashes tremble, a faint sign of protest against such an imperious choice. Don't worry. Don't be sad. We may be drifting apart now, but I believe the world is round, and so is fate. One day, beyond all the paths that pulled us apart, we will find our way back together. Chimera name already? I mean, they kind of revealed it during their live stream, didn't they? They said at least the boss name. It's Vanguard, right? Unless you're talking about something else. Even when it's Alpha, it is Vanguard? Yeah, then I did see it. They pretty much say that on the live stream. On their previous live stream. Even when it is Alpha here, it's still... Whether it's Alpha or Lucia of Grey Raven, it's still that theme of sacrifice with them, huh? That they're willing to do what they can in order to protect the ones they care for, even if it means sacrificing themselves or sacrificing something. The ending's two halves. All I have left is my life. It's the last thing I can freely choose for myself. The world would be made new. It reeks of death. Yet without death, nothing new can be born. What else? Who else? Having mended the one Lucia destined for happiness, Alpha raises her eyes once more to the phyllo tree, the lamb beside her. Her left eye has contracted into a ring, gold and crimson encircling black, a black hole poised to consume all. She understands now that this miracle is the very answer she's been seeking. The answer about her left eye. This closed loop. Oh. The answer about her left eye, about her original self. Whose misery can I take on next? Several scared hands reach out from beneath the tree, pleading for help, yet pushing her away all the same. Alpha takes every last one of them. Don't be afraid. I'll take it all. She will set everything right and bear every last shred of suffering and misery. She cuts through the fog, arriving at the moment each person faces an impossible choice. The first, naturally, is Luna, the one she can never let go. In that unnameable tunnel paved with stars, a girl chews on a creeping unease. She tastes over and over the despair of fruitless effort. She treads over and over, a road paved with hatred, pouring everything she has into doing something for this world. No one stands beside her, and in the end, she achieves nothing. Until exhaustion overtakes her as she drifts back without thinking to the evening of January 5th, 2161, 16 days after the punishing virus outbreak. Wandering streets not yet touched, not yet fallen. She dials home, pressing the receiver tight against her ear, desperate to catch every syllable her mother speaks. They barely exchange a few words before their borrowed happiness is about to expire. Good night. Get some rest. Her mother speaks a few soft, caring words to the stranger on the line that ends Luna's call. She sets down the receiver and closes her eyes, holding the sorrow in. I should go. Everything around her begins to dissolve. But the payphone erupts with a piercing ring, chime after chime, calling out to a Luna lost in sorrow. Even as her body dissolves, dragged backward by the pull of the universe, Luna strains to reach out and grasp the receiver. She picks up, as if in desperate prayer. Hello? Hello? The person on the other end simply draws a breath, just like any human would, and before she can even speak, Luna knows exactly who it is. Sis. She never means to cry at all, but the moment she hears her sister's voice, a sob escapes her before she can stop it. Her regret, hurt, and grief flood the cramped phone booth all at once. It's okay, Luna. I'm right here. Alpha's voice feels like a soft hand running down Luna's back, one soothing stroke, then another. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we went hunting geese together? I do. Think back. What did I tell you then? You said, if we wanted to survive, we'd have to give up something else. That it was the law of conservation. That's right. I'm glad you remembered it all. Through the slight distortion of the line, Alpha's voice sounds lighter than it ever has before. Happiness and misery rest on the same scale. There must be a balance. I'm going to be the other side of that scale now. I'll hold the line there, so the rest of you can keep moving forward. No. Are you going to hang up too? I won't. But you need to be the one who hangs up and keeps going. I need you to remember this. Someday, in the future, I'm going to contain the fog and use my power to disrupt the Ascension Network. It might not be too long before that day comes. You'll know when it does. What you do then is entirely up to you. If you want to take the Ascension Network for yourself, I'll be there for you. I want you to believe. On the other end, Alpha presses herself closer to the receiver too. Everything that has happened in this phone booth is real. And that I'm where you belong. Anyone in this world might stop answering your calls, but I will always be there to catch you. Whenever you need me, just call. I'll always answer. Did you get all that, Luna? I'll remember, sis. I promise. Something clicks for Luna. Slowly, deliberately, she sets the receiver back in place and ends the call herself. She knows now that she will never need to cry again. On the other end, Alpha listens to the hollow dial tone and allows herself a faint, relieved smile beneath the tree. With one precious weight settled back into her heart, she can finally move forward, untroubled by the ever heavier burden on her shoulders. She simply parts the fog before her, intent on reaching the next soul lost in an arduous journey. Then she spots an unexpected figure, a man somehow familiar. He's back! Instinctively, she remembers the dandelion seeds he once gave her. Yet she also remembers that down another path, countless miseries were his doing. A complicated man, nearing his end. After a moment's thought, she steps into Vonnegut's pain all the same. house exudes a vintage charm, with daily necessities scattered about. A thin layer of dust blankets the corners, contrasting with the pristine gleam of frequently visited spaces. Oh my god, look at him! He's back! Holy shit! Welcome back, Vonagut. Welcome back, Nugget. It's been too long, brother. How you doing? How's your cat? Is your cat good? Lucia. The man on the sofa doesn't put down what he's holding. He just glances up idly, as if he's not at all surprised. But Alpha notices. The moment he sees her, something flickers almost imperceptibly at the corner of Vonnegut's eyes. Is the cat still on its cradle? Was that Nemo in your mind calling out to me? Perhaps. I often can't tell who I am anymore. Is this what you were aiming for back then? All I ever wanted was death. Who was the last person here talking to you before me? There was no last, only final. The final person to speak with me here will be the Grey Ribbon Commandant, who wakes up on that bed behind you 7 days from now. Holy shit. The one fascinating thing with this fucking story is all the timeline shit, time travel stuff. You're telling me this is 7 days before the stuff in Shaper's Ripples. That's cool. Or like in the middle of Shaper's Ripples. The whole like stories with time travel is so crazy. It's so fascinating to me. Like it makes me, now I'm thinking back to like BioShock Infinite. The DLC for BioShock Infinite. It's so fascinating, this stuff. Vonnegut stresses the word final with unmistakable weight, and Alpha catches it at once. She stops indulging a dying man in pleasantries and turns to look toward the bed. On the bed lies a human, unconscious from an injury. It's an open wound across the abdomen, raw and gruesome to behold. Oh, you wanted to recruit Alpha back there? Oh man, it's been so long since Wintry's Shackles. I don't remember that. It's been so long. Dealing with time travel is rough. So damn easy to create plot holes or bad storytelling. Glad they haven't dropped the ball. Yeah, there have been some people saying that like there are like some issues with the time travel thing, but that was like way before like that was like around like the Wither to Shine chapter when people were saying that. At least I remember seeing one person bitching about it, saying how, oh, now that everything got reset, or now that it's a new timeline, the moment with Lee and Murray during Chronos of Spiral never happened. And then there was a whole thing with the freaking the egg and the Omega Core and whatnot. It's like, and then we get to like chapter 30 something. I can't remember. What was it, 36 or whatever? Dreams Rewound, where we go through the same events. Lee having his talk with Murray, getting the egg from Lamia and all that stuff. We go through all of that, all the same thing. The only thing that is different is that the Hetero Tower didn't arrive, but everything else played out a similar way. The stuff with the Hetero Forest and Buddy being destroyed. Shorthalt dying. Yes, for like the fucking like 10th time. Bianca killing Chico. Like it all plays out. Those major events happen regardless. Yeah, it's no sci-fi without time travel. And yeah, PGR Kuro games are doing fine with the time travel stuff. Even back in WUA, man. Even in WUA. Remember 3.1? Or was it 3.2? No, it was 3.1. 3.1 with IMETH. They did good with that too. Like, they know what they're doing. People that always complain about this stuff, they jump the gun too soon. They judge way too soon. They don't give it enough time. They don't wait until later chapters. Because when the answers finally come across, and it's like, oh, I may have been too hasty with my judgment. It's like, well, of course you were too hasty with it. She frowns, then turns and seats herself on the soft edge of the bed with the lightest, slowest of movements. I see you've learned to anchor yourself in time and space through this human's condition. What are you trying to say? As it happens, so have I. Easy now. Don't go putting blames on me just yet. You arrived before I could even start treating the wounds. I'll handle it. She picks up the first aid supplies, and a wave of familiarity washes over her. Back at that FOS college, Uzubeni had once stitched her wounds with the same careful hands. That was how she learned. She searches the human's wounds with meticulous care, treating every injury until all is set right. And Vonnegut waits in silence throughout. Only when Alpha finishes tending the human's wounds and sets the needle and thread back into the medical kit with a soft click does the silence break. Hold on a second. Back in Shaper's Ripples, when Commandant woke up on the bed with Vonnegut on the side there, did Commandant ever question Vonnegut about the mended wounds? The tended wounds? And maybe Vonnegut was like, oh, no, I didn't do shit. I didn't do it. Or whatever. Or maybe he just stayed quiet. I wonder. What node was that? Oh man, that's so a while ago here. Not that you can recall. Yeah, I'm trying to look for it. Yeah, chapter rereading goes Bart. Where is it? I wonder where it could be. Oh, I'm looking at Shaper's Ripples notes. I remember now. Node 24 is literally titled Slaughterhouse Number 5. No, this is stuff that's very focused on Vonnegut, but I think I'm on the right track. Oh, yeah, no. Commandant did question, but it was just like a really short one right here. Commandant asks Vonnegut, did you stitch up my wound? But Vonnegut doesn't answer. Only when Alpha finishes tending the human's wounds and sets the needle and thread back into the medical kit with a soft click does the silence break. What is the current situation on your end? The Hetero Tower has been destroyed. There are no more clear exits leading to any specific point in time. You, Lucia remains inside, guarding the key that has absorbed the tower's core. But the fog is already spreading. The Merciful One has noticed our situation, but she is not our civilization. I cannot say for certain whether she will lend her aid. But she does. Wither to shine. As if something has just crossed his mind, Vonnegut pauses mid-sentence, adjusts his wording, and his gaze softens a little. It seems she must have lent her aid already. Vonnegut has clearly seen through the change in the Lucia standing before him. Oh, does this mean he's aware about this new timeline then? Yes. I'm grateful to her and I'll be seeing her soon. Before the day comes when I must face what lies beyond the gate, I still need her cover. I see. Congratulations, Lucia. Sorry, I just thought of Big Tyrone. Congratulations! I'm not going to waste time asking whether that was Nemo or Trout talking. I only want to know one thing. Which Lucia are you congratulating? Alpha gazes at Vonnegut in silence. This time, he pauses for a full 30 seconds of thought before breaking the silence. That's a long 30 seconds. Like, if you really count it, 30 seconds is quite lengthy. I know there should only be one Lucia. Nemo told me many things, but when it came to you, he'd never speak plainly. Perhaps because you're part of his regrets as well. He wanted to bury you in that world he can never return to. He observed the two Lucias in this world carefully, and neither of them seemed to be you. I tested you myself too, when we met again back in the greenhouse, where the red tide was being bred. Back then, fate clearly hadn't caught up with you yet. You hadn't returned to the same starting point. I suspected something had happened to you, but it didn't matter. My time was running short. I had matters concerning the Hetero Tower to attend to. I needed to go back. Yes, you were obsessed with going back. Even knowing the Hetero Tower would vanish and never descend again, you'd still try to activate 0-Point Reactor 1, searching for a starting point over and over. Steal this man's drip. Bro, he's so drippy! It's because of Vonnegut that the coat over the shoulders thing is just so fucking cool. He made it cool. How could I not be? I could only rely on my own judgment. No one else saw things from where I stood. But of course, your perspective surpasses mine now. The weary man seems to want to close his eyes. There is no need for him to keep watching over everything anymore. I'm sorry, Lucia. We always saw you as a helpless child instead of the little hero known as Alpha, even though all we wanted was to keep you safe. Now it's Nemo talking, clearly. It should never have been your burden to bear, yet here you are, bearing it all the same. You've done better than any of us ever could. Regret is pressed down behind his eyes. At last, Vonnegut can meet Alpha's gaze with something like calm. Too many people deserve your apologies and amends. Your regrets just keep piling up. People seem unable to find a way to forgive Vonnegut. He's a man who deserves to die, in every sense of the word. Damn, okay. Damn. Yeah, this is Vonnegut. He deserves to die. Holy shit, okay. Even the narrator, bro. Oh, that's kind of funny. Irreparable damage, Vonnegut. Irreparable damage. You got us all fucked up. Settling his fate is not within Alpha's authority. What becomes of him, it seems, is a freedom left to Vonnegut alone. Alpha turns away from him and gently presses the palm of the human lying on the bed. It is a familiar gesture between them, and it works. The pained furrow in the sleeper's brow softens ever so slightly. Yeah, he's done a lot of shit. He's really done a lot of shit. It's just funny, just straight up the narrator being like, he's a man who deserves to die. In every sense of the word. It's just funny. Only then does Alpha's heart feel the faintest bit lighter. I'm taking this one with me. Suit yourself. But this layer must remain intact. If it doesn't, the top layer world you chose to preserve will feel the impact. Changes beyond anyone's control. I need to wait for 10 days before I can make my move. Protecting this vein of fate It may well be my last mission. If you would, take my cat with you as well. Okay. Vonnegut nudges the big orange ball out of the corner with his foot. You already have a white cat and a gray one. I know they're well raised, gentle-tempered. Hopefully they won't mind mine too much. What about you, Vonnegut? Where should you go? Where do you want to go? Alpha stops calling him Nemo. Was she even calling him Nemo in the first place? Have you ever thought about giving up that power? Cutting away all that noise in your mind and just becoming one person? Or one construct? Even if she has given up on taking Vonnegut's pain as her own, Alpha still points him toward a way home. You can make amends, buddy. It's you got a long checklist of things to make up for, but Vonnegut lets out a soft sigh, his gaze resting gently on Alpha and on the human lying in the bed behind her. For just a moment, Alpha believes she sees him hesitate. Oh, he thought about it for a moment. But still, he says, he thought about it. All I have left is my life. It's the last thing I can freely choose for myself. Once I've spent it all, you can pass judgment however you want. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. How the victim of the suicide epidemic will exercise his freedom remains unknown. But Alpha can see it, the veins of the philo tree growing clearer by the moment. Someone has indeed begun to help, striving to hold it all together. I imagine Vonnegut's neck is like another Saphira frame. Vonnegut playable? What? No way! Maybe we'll see his variant in Wua. Ooh, could you imagine? That'd be so cool. Imagine we see him as a Fraxidus. A Fraxidus variant of Vonnegut. Oh my god, bro. Aura. Absolute aura. With their aid, Alpha continues to gather each thread of misery, untangling and setting them right. The Vice archetype. Honestly, I could see that. Only when the hands of the dead fade one by one, releasing her shoulders in peace, does she finally stop churning through the fog and pause to catch her breath. She looks up and sees branches thick with leaves flourishing overhead. Sorry, let me take a drink of water. Also, I hope I did okay with the... I hope I'm doing alright with the reading for you guys. I don't typically do the whole... I don't have any sort of interest. Or at least it doesn't... I don't feel like I have any interest in when it comes to voice acting or whatever. But I do want to make it enjoyable. So I hope me reading in a deeper voice as Vonnegut was somewhat entertaining for you. I mean, it's Vonnegut. I gotta sound a certain way for the game. even if it is just my current voice, just that is a deeper tone. ASMR. She looks up and sees branches thick with leaves flourishing overhead. I just read that earlier. She looks down and sees the lamb still nestled in her arms, never having strayed. How long has it been? Gotta go crazy when Lilith shows up too. That's the thing though, when it comes to... I'm sure you guys noticed, but when it comes to screaming moments or anything like that, I don't want to be loud. I don't like being loud. I always... if I want to try and do a screaming thing, I'd have to do it really freaking that one Dragon Ball video, just that's why whenever there's a screaming moment or a yelling moment, I just don't do it. I also feel awkward when I try to. It just feels awkward for me. I just prefer to be, I like being quiet. I mean, I raise my voice at times, right? But I think the last time during a live reading for a PGR chapter where I did actually really raise my voice was during the last few, one of the last few nodes in Aeon Reforged with Ballard when he was talking to Watanabe after their fight. I think that was the last time I ever raised my voice during a live reading. And if it was like the video readings that I've been doing, probably the Kamu interlude. My voice is nonchalant to do screams. Yeah. Joking and understandable. Oh, yeah. And another thing too, the crate and like even the crazy stuff, like back in Inscription of Labyrinth with Voodoo, like I can't do the wacky woohoo like insane asylum laugh. I can't really do that. Even laughing, I also feel awkward doing. I just do a simple or like and that's it. I don't go like he or whenever a he comes up, I'm just like he. Like I do it like very fucking lazily. It all feels awkward to me to do. That's why I have such respect to voice actors, because they're just able to do it. They can get out of their comfort zone. Not me. How long has it been? I have no clue. Perhaps the passing of many lifetimes. Perhaps the universe's full arc, from birth to final silence. Either way, a long, long time. Are you satisfied? In taking in all that misery, in offering yourself up as a sacrifice, did you find a hint of satisfaction? Maybe. But that doesn't matter anymore. Again, whether it's Alpha or Lucy of Grey Raven, the theme of sacrifice is there. It's not as like... I mean, there's like different types of sacrifice, but it's sacrifice nonetheless. She blinks. A breath passes like a fleeting moment. The emotions of the world seem to have lost their hold on her entirely. Though with Alpha, personally, it's not so much on the side of sacrifice, but more on the side of just being shackled into fate. Shackled by fate's chains, as I guess you could put it. Like, this is her inevitability. While Lucy of Grey Raven, she's more on the side of sacrifice, or specifically self-sacrifice. The lamb watches over her, its thoughts unreadable. Perhaps emotion was the price she paid. Setting aside what doesn't matter, I've learned more. She strokes the lamb, slowly coming to realize that the nature of the phyllotree is the mind itself. This is the true path that humanity, having spent every resource it possessed, managed to find. And now, under the crown's protection, it flourishes evermore. She has undergone a complete metamorphosis beneath the tree. Not merely her eyes, but every particle of her being has become something that no longer exists in this universe. Alpha gathers the lamb into her arms, resting her cheek against its soft fur. She tells the lamb that she first grasped mercy, the foundational principle that every human must understand upon reaching enlightenment, and to live limpidity. So mercy is the blueprint. Every branch and every fruit of this tree grew from mercy. Her eyes hold the image of a woman with pink hair. I should go find her next. No, actually, she's already waiting for me. What about the other fruits? The lamb nuzzles against her. The others. She reaches out, brushing her fingers across all the other fruits. The fruits are, at their core, the most concentrated form of human civilization's information. By consuming the ripened fruits, we can use that concentrated information to resist the universe's filtering. The Sephiroth. Okay, I guessed as much. So, it was mentioned earlier. Kingdom, beauty, there was also foundation. But, again, I think Teddy's supposed to be foundation. Though in the dossier, it says there's not like a specific page for Teddy, which is interesting. Why? A civilization's tier is determined by its information entropy. Lee entropy? No, just kidding. Pack enough information together, and it can't be filtered out or easily absorbed. Say you sit down for breakfast, and all that's on the table is half a glass of milk. You'd call that a pretty sorry meal. As long as this Sephiroth doesn't spawn a one-winged angel, we are good. Sephiroth! A one-winged angel with really long white hair and a long-ass katana. But if the entire ocean was sitting on that table, you'd say, I couldn't possibly drink all that. Correct. Between my stabilization and everyone else's efforts, things are looking up. The fruits we need to resist the filtering are starting to take shape. Yes! Look. Mercy, foundation, kingdom, understanding, beauty. So many of them, slowly ripening. That's another Sephiroth name. That's another Saphira name. Understanding. Holy! So now there's 6 we are aware of. They said at the earlier nodes, at one of the earlier nodes, 5, but maybe, I don't know. I wonder how many in total there are. Maybe it's that Vanguard team that made 5, and then the other ones got developed either after them or before them, and they just continued that. I don't remember if they said they had started that Saphira research earlier, at an earlier point, but there were originally 12 Vanguard members, right? Imagine there's like 12 Saphira frames because there was 12 members. And that's what I was saying in like the first stream of this chapter, where I was saying like Leora kind of looks like Liv. Their names start with the letter L. So maybe each of those Saphira frames and their designations represent each of the Vanguard members. But that's a really big stretch. But so far we just only know now 6. Mercy, Foundation, Kingdom, Understanding, Beauty, and Crown. Tifa is Tiferet, which is beauty/balance, which ironically was the PGR first boss. Ooh! That's fascinating. Tifa comes back into the story, bro. Crazy resurrection. That'd be crazy. What makes them ripen? The leaves. They've been working hard. She gestures toward the leaves dotted across the tree, some vivid green, some brownish yellow, and some darkened to near black. Babylonia's Phyllotree of Osea, the Spectre frame data hidden in Elysium even though it's false. The Arctic Route Union's Amalgamation Tech, Karthaki's Sealing, Azet's Corona Gene. Hasn't humanity always been walking on this vein? With enough leaves, they can pull in nutrients and feed the growing fruits. Is the Ascension Network part of the tree too? She gazes at the origin of the world while the lamb's eyes stay fixed on her alone. The Ascension Network selects a powerful vessel to act in its stead. absorbs all negativity to resist the universe's filtering. Like how Vonnegut embodies regret, and Luna embodies hatred. Luna. Oh yeah, I remember that from chapter 30. Stars Ensnared? I remember how Luna described it as like how each ascendant was like a sort of... If the punishing virus was like the followers of a religion and the ascendants were each like a deity of that religion or whatever the fuck. It was such a cool analogy to make, or comparison. So Vonnegut as an ascendant, he's the ascendant of regret, and Luna was the ascendant of hatred. That's so fucking cool. It makes me wonder what Lamia, Roland, Gabriel, even Alpha right here, I wonder what theirs is. And Lilith too. The moment Luna's image flickers in her eyes, she looks down, turning something over in her thoughts. But Luna carved out her own way. From inside all that hatred, she found a sliver of love and understanding. That's how she broke free from the Ascension Network's grip. And yeah, there was also that too. Luna, from that point on, wasn't the ascendant of hatred anymore. She became something else. Me and Carefree Dog guessed it was like the ascendant of like love or compassion or family. Virtues and vices. Yeah, pretty much. So the Ascension Network is a mistake. She gives the lamb's ear a tender, indulgent pinch. Nothing on this tree is a mistake. Everything has its place. The Ascension Network is just the other side of a tree grown from the same seed. If you can climb from the shadows into the light, that's not exactly a bad thing. So the Ascension Network is not a bad thing. You're from Babylonia. Your phyla tree of Osea wants to consume all the positive fruits and use that positivity to resist the filtering. So of course, you'd instinctively reject what the Ascension Network stands for. Ah, that's interesting. In the end, everyone's just trying to find a vein to reach the finish line. Nothing more complicated than that. Yeah, either way, we're just trying to survive here. She raises a single finger and points toward the Mind dossier aboard Babylonia. I'll share my vision with humanity. Let them see the tree's veins more clearly. Is that cheating? I don't think so. She touches her lips softly to the tip of the lamb's nose. This is for you. A personal favor from me. She says nothing more. She rises and begins to consume more Sephiroth, one bite at a time, one after another. At last, she devours the crown as well, bite for bite by bite, the peel, the flesh, the seeds, swallowing it whole. Perhaps some creation myth penned by humanity speaks of fruits just like these. The only one that came to mind for me was Adam and Eve. When she is done, Alpha wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, sated, revealing humanity's most primal form. There. I've understood this tree completely. She stands, extends her hand, and opens the gate that has long been waiting quietly at the tree's roots. The time has come. Alright then, let's see what's behind this gate. Have you really converged everything? But the lamb suddenly asks a question. She watches the lamb ask its question, yet her hands continue their work, still pushing the gate open. In some world out there, is there someone still waiting for you? Lucia is basically the Genesis light from the Bible. It's so cool. So fascinating. Maybe, but all that. The gateway lies open now. There is no endless sea beyond it, no universe of stars. Only the lamb waiting quietly on the other side. A sharp sting rises in Alpha's nose, as though someone has gathered up every emotion she lost through countless cycles of life and conversions and placed them back into her chest. What is this? This is me, the one who became unimportant. There's a promise you forgot to keep, Alpha. The lamb turns its back and leaves. Alpha throws out her hand, but finds nothing. Not even the ghost of its wool beneath her fingertips. No, wait. All at once, panic and longing flood her anew as she steps through the open gate. This chapter is so good. Super long, but it's really good. It's taking me like 3 streams. Orange cat. A plump orange cat has slipped into the group. It still hasn't gotten used to the roar of Alpha's motorcycle and would rather rest whenever the group stops along the way. Sometimes it naps lightly and cautiously. Other times it sprawls onto its back and sleeps without a care in the world. Look at that cat giving some attitude with its eyes, bro. It's just giving you the side eye. As for the companions it has to live with, it dislikes the white cat, but as long as they keep their distance, things stay peaceful. The gray cat, though, it actually likes that one, and sometimes runs over it just to bite its butt. It doesn't really like the new cat food, maybe because it isn't roasted like the old one, so it lacks that crispy smell and texture. Yeah, that cat be chonkers. That's a chonky cat. So now it's eating about 3 pounds less every day. At this rate, it should slim down soon. Totally normal. The ending's other half. The universe showed no mercy for that unfulfilled promise, yet someone who cared enough pulled her back into this moment. Being behind the gateway, you or I may now begin to put forward your hypothesis. Do you still remember where your point of view has come to rest? Is it fixed on Alpha swallowing all pain? On Lucia as the Omega Core shatters? On the FOS starship where every last light of the Vanguard team has been extinguished? Or has it settled perhaps on the human, yourself, who already took the final breath in Alpha's arms? So I'm really dead then. Death no longer phases you. Okay, Watanabe Epitaph. I no longer fear death. It is as though your own life has become the most disposable thing you possess, the cheapest currency, readily traded away for whatever it is you seek. Damn! That's a banger line. That's really good. Your life, the cheapest currency, readily traded away for whatever it is you seek. Dang, that's really good. Holy shit. I want to shake your hands in person, riders of riders of PGR. The hero finds a raw, primal joy in their own destruction. Wasn't that a thing, too, back in Spark to Wildfire? That sort of thing? Or... I think, no. That or, like, something with Lucia, with the whole self-sacrifice thing. No, that was, like, Spark to Wildfire. Because it's always the heroes that always has this sort of notion that becoming a hero means sacrificing yourself. And Vera wasn't that sort of person. But because of that, because of all the people that sacrificed themselves around her, she was always the one to keep on the burden. Take on those legacies. The hero finds a raw primal joy in their own destruction. Fortunately, someone paid a far greater price, enough to return every point of view to you. Now then, put forward your hypothesis. Where will you set your point of view? Where does your life begin? Keep it normal. Start from birth. Skip to the best part! Man, enough of this talk. Just let me get to the climax. Commandant is a skipper. Commandant is the story skipper, confirmed. Nah, keep it normal. Start from birth. You are born. A woman cradles you in her arms, before the swaddling cloth can even be wrapped around you. The vernix seals your newborn eyes. The first words that reach you are feeble, yet brimming with hope. That's how I'm gonna start my D&D campaign with my friends. You are born. We're really starting from the beginning. You are my child, my precious darling. What then? And then? Oh, whoa, that went by a little too quick. Hang on, hold on. You merge with the hetero blah 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 in the ocean's blah 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 blah, fusing with blah 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 relic, Catella, Noan, blah blah halt, and even blah blah Mia. This course blah in blah without end, choosing to parade on through blah blah blah. That's Cradle Parade. You're entombed within blah 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 human blah 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 civilization that perishes 30 years from now. The power of blah 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 has drained from you. You are suspended in the amber of a dead world. Yet you are content to become a preserved slice of blah 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 humanity. For alas, you blah blah share a blah blah grave with the companions of your past days. Shaper's Ripples? Or Wither to Shine? You meet Lou blah blah at blah blah college. You fight as one, and your bond deepens with a quiet blah blah. Without effort, you become those who know each blah blah best, holding one another among the most blah blah souls in your lives. You graduate from FOS Military Command College. After training, you are appointed Commandant of the Grey Raven Squad. Under your command are 3 constructs, Lucia, Liv, and Lee. No, more than one person has spoken these words to you. You are our hope. Wait. What just flashed before me? Branches that are open to choice. Would you make a choice? The path as it stands now is the one decided by bleu. A human heart is made of flesh. When faced with such a hypothesis, he begins to ache. I want to go back. That's very important to me. There's someone I should be waiting for. There's a promise I should keep. So be it. Because I, are the favored one. A clamor of young voices gathering rises around you. The first figure to swim into view is a girl with silver white hair. She catches another girl her age with swift, sure hands, but her earphones slip free and clatter to the ground. Pick up the earphones. The silver-haired girl watches her leave, then touches her right ear. She hesitates for a beat and starts scanning her surroundings. Hey, excuse me? You dropped this. Your earphones? Thank you. Are you one of the first class too? Yeah. My name is Lucia. The world goes quiet for half a second, long enough for you to hear, with perfect clarity, the pounding of your own heart. Your eyes blink, drinking in every detail of how Lucia looks now. Your mouth slowly opens and at last speaks those words to her. I know. Before ever laying eyes on that cadet's name tag, before the capture of the flag team exercise, before the punishment of 500 push-ups, before the rotational training at the airborne command post, before flying the aircraft past FOS, before the birthday celebration on the grassy field at night, before seeing the Earth rise from the moon just for the two of you. Before all of it, before everything, perhaps the only thing you could truly grasp was that first "I like you," spoken from behind Lucia's visor. But now, what has become unmistakable is the line that followed. "You're where I belong to." The words are trapped behind the visor, heard by no one but yourself. Before a vow meant for Lucia was made ready, there in the FOS auditorium. Take a deep breath, walk forward. As Joanne turns every gaze toward this corner, two figures rise as one, as if on cue. "Lucia, there's something I want to tell you." "My name isn't actually Uzubeni. It's Joe." Alpha steps through the gateway. I shouldn't have made that joke. Now I'm thinking about that video. Fuck. The imagined drop beneath her feet never comes. Instead, her foot meets solid ground, and a wave of disorientation so violent it nearly tears consciousness from her grasp. "Lucia, you naive fool. You've fallen right into my trap." She lifts her gaze. The magnificent dome of FOS College arches overhead. She then looks down. She is dressed in formal wear, the very outfit tailored for her graduation. She remembers, too, how she once took it out again, deliberately, for a moment of utmost importance. Gosh, she looks so good on that. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Chef's kiss. A tremor runs through her as if she needs to confirm something. With shaking hands, she gropes through her pocket until her fingers close around something smooth, round, warmed by her own heat. A ring, which strangely looks like a crown. "Stop it!" pulls out a gun. Round as a closed circle. The final link in the loop. In an instant, she feels it. The heartbeat she once had as a human. Every feeling she has ever known surges back into this body. And she remembers with piercing clarity what a happy day this had been. And the day that demands the greatest courage to return to. Sound returns first. The irrepressible laughter and chatter of friends and alumni rush into the ears of the human named Lucia. Alpha. Then sight. She scans the room, taking in face after face, flushed bright with excitement, all of them achingly familiar. Ophelia, Adelaide, Cassandra, and Joanne, hands clamped over her mouth as if to hold back a scream. Everything seems to move in slow motion. The universe showed no mercy for that unfulfilled promise, yet someone who cared enough pulled her back into this moment. From behind her comes the sound of steady footsteps. "There's something I want to tell you." The ring pressed tight in her palm, she turns back, slowly, so slowly, to look once more at the one standing before her. For a breath, she wants nothing more than to run away, but this choice is her last, and it matters most. So she raises her gaze and looks the person in the eye. "You first." She stumbles over the familiar line, forcing them out. But the human before her stays silent and simply offers a smile. The lamb. She freezes. Because in the human's gaze, she finds no trace of nervousness, no worry, no expectation. Those eyes still hold countless unspoken things, but all the youthful emotions have faded. What remains is a quiet, knowing happiness. But it's no longer the same as back then. She doesn't even notice the tremor in her own voice. Of course it's not. Alpha, you know everything already. We all do. She looks around, swift and searching, and only then notices that every face carries something subtly different from before. They are all smiling too. Smiles of quiet release. Even Joanne meets her eyes, offering a small nod of understanding. Everyone. If you're going to stand by your choice, then you have to let this place go. I'm with you. Or, I don't support this. Oh, yeah, it's better to say the second one and then the first one, eh? Just for continuity. Just for it to flow. I don't support this, not one bit. But I'm with you. The human takes a half step forward, and it sets off a small stir among everyone watching. Oh, it's happening, it's happening. Who's going first with the ring? She draws her gaze back, no longer glancing around. There's no need for it anymore. The one before her begins to speak the words that were meant to be hers. Remember what happened on the moon? The lunar rover ride? Not that. No. She swallows down the tightness in her throat and goes on beneath the gaze of hundreds of watching eyes. We both remember. I shut off the comms first, then I said something to you. Even now, I still... Her face flushes a faint pink. Probably just Earth's reflection on the visor. I told you back then I'd only say it once. I lied. There were so many times I wanted to say it again. Lying awake at 3 a.m. in North Africa, I wanted to say it. Checking my gear before a mission, I wanted to say it. And when I saw those sunset photos you sent from the South Pacific, so terribly shot, honestly, but I still wanted to say it. She adds something more. Riding back to the monastery, when I found you on the road and pulled you onto my bike, at the coding shop during the festival, at that flea market in Constellia picking out a bed for the cat. Every single time, I wanted to say it. Slowly, she draws her hand out from behind her back. What a coincidence. By the way, was that a reference to, like, coding shop during festival, flea market in Castelia? Was that a reference to, like, one of those Valentine's events or whatever? You know how you would go on a date with one of the constructs or whatever? Is that a reference to that? It's canon! Or those events, those dates with each of the constructs, those are canon. In that case. That's funny. That's cute. Once again, she is the first to bring out the ring, and the human follows without hesitation. 2 hands rise to the same height, each one holding a ring. They stand facing one another, eyes meeting through a veil of tears. Miss Benny, under the witness of FOS. She adds a witness to her vow, but this promise is one she will never take back. I will not spend my life with you. Right on cue. A thunderous crack splits the air above. The dome fractures, and the last world begins its collapse. I will not stay by your side forever. The words of the vow are agony, splintering her more completely than the rupturing dome, and she barely stops herself from taking it all back. But you are the one who matters most to me. You always have been. Yes, she leaves no room for retreat. She says nothing more. I understand. I accept. Still, the human is as understanding and forgiving as always, and that gives her the courage to say what she needs to say last. Will you? A cascade of splintered glass descends in fragments, each shard refracting the glow above and carrying within it the image of two faces side by side. Not marry me forever. But somehow
sunlight through the trees, hear the bell ring. You called my name. I found the spark, the first light in the dark. I found your eyes, and all the world stood still for one heartbeat. The time we've been through brought me to you. You never knew I was ready to tell you my truth. I see the words behind your eyes, shining through this cold night. Just let this moment stay before it slips away. I'm not afraid of this sweet time will soon leave me. And when the spades don't look for me, just let every trace on me ground and forget me, my one and only. Our time was just a promised land, a trip from which I must fly. Go find the sun and then feel the glow of the world that I don't need to know. I lied. After that, there were so many times I wanted to say it again. In North Africa, lying awake at 3 in the morning, I wanted to say it. Before every mission, checking my equipment, I wanted to say it. And when you sent me the photos, that South Pacific sunset, pretty terrible shot, honestly. But even then, I still wanted to say it. For all that has been, all that is, and all there is to come, will you? Not marry me? Let the cursed path be mine to trek. Let the homeward path be mine to chart.
That was so bittersweet. Remember when I said how, regardless of what timeline it is, it's always Lucy and Kamina will always find their way to each other or something, or be in love with each other. This is the one timeline that had to get, as a branch, had to be cut away, I guess, right? That's what it was. In defiance of fate, the crowned one breaks free from time's shackles and shoulders the weight of every consequence her choices beget. Crown, atheism. Wow. God damn, that was good. That happiness take gone. It was her choice to take it away too. It's bittersweet, man. It's bittersweet. I feel like there's been plenty of other stories that involved like different timelines or time travel where the only way, if romance was involved in it, the only way to move forward with this timeline away from disaster is to sacrifice that romance or whatever with the person you love. Ah, so bittersweet. So tragic. Ah. Homecoming Voyage. Whoa! That's the title of this chapter, no way! This path we set out on was always meant to be a long journey home. That cutscene, by the way, was really good. The timeline that could have happened. I mean, it technically did. Just without the death and destruction by the end of it. So this one has a... so this note has a secret achievement. Let me just quickly look at that. They're going a little easy on the number of achievements, huh? There's not much compared to the other chapters. Even back in Dying Light, there was only one. They really cut down on that. So what is this secret achievement? After Vanguard throws rocks at you on her second phase, goes into Matrix, breaks your screen. That's your cue to that a parryable combo will start. Parry all of it. If it flashes blue, press a blue orb. Flashes red, press a red orb. Oh shit, okay. It's like short halt. Oh, these achievements. Homecoming, blessings for your future. May your journey home be blessed. Alright. The broken vow dissolves in an instant, and Alpha buries it in every footprint across past, present, and future. The FOS auditorium follows Fate's design, vanishing into the fog. Pre-download ready? Okay, I'll do that after stream. The fog writhes and retreats, erasing every lingering trace until only a solitary figure stands. Alpha extends her hand, and the Saphira's power obeys, drawing the fog inward. This drifting realm, too, finds where it belongs at last, within Alpha's mind. I've made every choice I had to make. Oh, this landscape, what the... Alpha stands behind the gateway, murmuring to herself. Oh, yeah, right, of course. The Saphira, forged from pain and misery, can no longer exist as the crown. Through Alpha's choices, it is now reforged into atheism. Oh, okay. The mist of regret saturates her body. She who converged every consequence upon herself now tastes the pain truly for the first time. The fog within her mind writhes as spectral, jagged horns pierce through her forehead, reshaping, shifting hue, each second a fresh agony. Alpha tries to tear them away. Even shattered, they cling to her brow, refusing to go. These horns of misery are now rooted forever in her face. Humanity developed the crown Saphira, believing that this power to manipulate gravitational fields would bring the stars of time within reach. Some would always be dazzled by starlight, forgetting the crushing weight of the crown itself. To put on the crown is to observe and lock in one branch of the universe, to shoulder the entire future of this last remaining world. But Alpha, now bearing the crown, desires far more. Insatiable, she reaches out to absorb the suffering of every abandoned world, to draw all misery onto herself alone. Then no one else would have to grieve. Everyone could smile, applaud, and leave the long ordeal behind, stepping into a new world, a new journey reborn. But how can a weight that breaks the spine still be called a glorious crown? There are no gods in this world. Only one person, wrists pierced, bearing a wooden plank, walking forward without end. Only a demon's body with mismatched eyes and horns jutting from her brow. This is Alpha's path alone, a godless road. Good. This is what I have to do. This is what it means to carry atheism. Behind the gateway, she lets out a bitter smile, uncaring what waits beyond, or what watches her from the dark. Someone hears the laughter and opens their eyes. Hello. Your fate loves you indeed. You fate loves you indeed. Maybe it's intentional then. Maybe it's not a misspell or a grammar mistake. Maybe it's actually intended to be you fate loves you indeed. I don't know. It seems kind of odd that it's been done twice now. Maybe they I don't know. I'm gonna assume it's supposed to be your. So, your fate loves you indeed. One day, it will be wholly yours. The merciful one. I wonder. Okay. I was gonna say, I wonder who that could be. And then her sprite just shows up on screen. I've been waiting for you. Being beyond the gates. Tell me, what did the other civilizations do when they faced the harvest? Have any worlds made it this far before? The new queen lifts her head through the pane, her voice urgent, questioning the presence beyond the gate. So far there's only been 3 characters we know of that's been at this location, right? There was Lee, Commandant, and now Alpha, right? Was there someone else? I don't remember. All I remember is just those 3. Yes, but the crown's choice, or in your case, atheism's, is what matters most. If you cannot shoulder the weight of that information, the path you have chosen will prove false and collapse before your eyes. Fun little fact here. Well, I mean, not really a fun fact, but kind of unrelated. Nervatia? Was she here on this location too? I don't remember. I don't remember if Nervatia had met the Merciful One like this. But a little off topic, but I mentioned a while ago I'm planning a D&D campaign with my friends. I'm planning to add in a character that's kind of like Ishmael into the story, but like as an NPC. And that character is going to be like a higher being that travels between different worlds and shit. Misheard as the Phylogry? Oh, okay. Most crowns choose to preserve a handful of the most promising paths. Even when none are perfect, it leaves room to reconsider. Color Wishmail. Nah, I'm not. I'm not calling her Wishmail. She's gonna be named Morgan, and she's gonna have like a raven sort of theme or motif to her. But the universe follows conservation, hesitation, fallback options. They ensure one thing: you will never reach the absolute. So the crowns of other civilizations almost never saw it through to the end. The merciful one remains silent, offering no reply. So I made the right call. I'll hold the line for the one world that remains. Everything else, I've already cut it away. If I made the right call, then I can bring everyone where they belong back now, right? Of course. With a slow incline of the head, the merciful one offers atheism her deepest respect. You have made your choice, and you kept only one. Go. Your vanguard team awaits. They will live on with you, moving forward by your will alone. The merciful one's voice sets the fog thrumming with resonance. All around Alpha, familiar voices rise, echoing the farewells they once spoke, each one at peace with having been cut away by her choice. The vanguard team will never leave you behind again. You'll always be our little hero, Alpha. Can I still find you again? I'm sorry. You were my only friends. Maybe I only existed so I could pass this fate on to you. So it's fine. Everyone at FOS is a Vanguard reserve. I've been ready for this day all along. Just to be clear, in the one world you kept, you didn't enroll at FOS, right? And I really don't need another student who turns the whole academy upside down. Lucia, you don't need to look at me. You don't need to ask. I don't mind. Because I know that no matter which world you choose to keep, you'll always find your way back to me. I just keep looking forward. No need to look back. Come on now. Let's sail home together. Go. Lead everyone home. Face after face, voice after voice, they gather and converge, slowly coalescing into a single scene. The final note of the chorus fades, yet the solemn auditorium never settles back into silence. On stage, the students buzz with excitement, calling out their questions to someone seated below. Miss Cassandra, what's the name of the song? Miss Cassandra of FOS College brings a hand to her forehead with a sudden smack. Oh, how could I forget the most important part? What's the name of the song? Cassandra murmurs the words, turning her head as she and the students on stage all cast their gaze toward the audience below. The sensor on her arm gives a sudden flicker. It has caught something. The far corner of the auditorium is not empty after all. Someone has been standing there all along. Trustee Cassandra meets Alpha's gaze and repeats the question, each word weighted with intent. Alpha, what's the name of this school anthem? The stage seems to swell with more and more figures. Joanne, Adelaide, Ophelia. Leora and the others who wove themselves into the bridge across dreams. Chrome, Vanessa, Harley Joe, Simon, Sika, Valeria, Anif. And beyond them, countless more. Her parents, Luna, her sister, Liv and Lee, her companions and family. Every vanguard from every world stands gathered here, waiting. They are waiting for the name of the anthem, for the answer atheism will give. Alpha speaks. After the long, arduous voyage, she has found a name more worthy of it. Let's call it Homecoming Voyage. This path we set out on was always meant to be a long journey home. At last, a resolute smile settles on Alpha's face, the kind of smile that can only belong to someone who was once truly happy. Vanguard smiles with her, all of them united in accepting Alpha's choice. Alpha raises her hand. The fate of human civilization rests within her grasp, held tightly, held completely. High winds and desert sands fill my eyes. We fight through wilderness, then valley. For mercy, we will cry and hold strong our faith. Those steady shadows from a distant land, I will bring everyone home. I look to the skies and lift my arms. My turn to rise with all my might. She walks onward, hand raised high, advancing through the auditorium of FOS as the Vanguard song swells around her. Today you are held tight in my hand, and with today's will, time remains unchanged. Onward she presses, crossing the bridge across dreams. We thrive daily, holding our heads high. Onward, following the veins of the tree, she crosses through the fog. She plucks the other fruits from the tree, scatters them apart, and casts them out into the world. Sephiroth. I'll be the one to watch over them. For tomorrow. A better tomorrow. Now, Alpha stands again at the tragic point of divergence. Now, the human has not yet bled out. Lucia's Omega Core has not yet caught fire. The battle raging aboard the FOS starship is held in suspension, frozen at the instant when every voice still roars in defiance before the silence and the grey descend. Alpha gazes upon the world, newly pruned, and counts the Vanguard one by one, every soul present. She scrubs away the blood left by the vagabonds, staining her body, and rises, bearing the full cost upon her shoulders. No one knows it yet, but the story that had been falling without end has just reached its turning point. As Chimera's sanity crumbles, more and more rifts tear through the fog. Lost vagabonds rampage through the fog, lashing out blindly at anything and everything as if venting rage pent up from enduring corruption for far too long. Lucia tries to prop herself up with her blade and stands, struggling to keep the Omega Core feeding energy to her frame. She is exhausted from battle, yet a faint hope flickers at the edge of her awareness. The Chimera seems to be weakening, and her wounds are slowing their decay. The human kneels in the corner, fingers trembling weakly around the gun, drained of strength. A clench of the jaw, and the other hand locks it steady. The FOS starship does not stop firing. This is no longer a war of attrition without end. The figure in red and white has already toppled the most colossal of the vagabonds, surging upward from the depths of the fog to stand before them now. Shock seizes Lucia's face. In a fleeting instant, she sees Alpha's silhouette crumple beneath some invisible burden, a pitch-black crown atop her head dripping with melted flesh and viscous vital fluid from the dead. As though she is crushed under an unbearable weight, haunted by something dark and clinging that will never let her go. Her body is a map of scars, caked with the dust of ages, as if she has walked this road for eons uncounted. But before Lucia can look more closely, Alpha's voice reaches her from just ahead. I can take them down now. I can take the vagabonds. You don't have to burn yourself out anymore just to force an opening. What? Now I just need everyone to back me up. Alpha's gaze meets the humans in a fleeting exchange. In those mortal eyes, she sees only fog, bewilderment misting over, and understands. The vision that sees beyond worlds will not be granted to the human. Not yet. Not yet? Because that person made a choice long ago. She lowers her eyes, but there is no time to taste even that faint sting of dejection. Alpha. But the human's hand finds hers at once, gripping tight. We'll all be there for you. That flicker of dejection is gone. All right, let's get out of the fog together. Lucia, who knows herself more deeply than anyone, can say it with certainty. Alpha has changed. Not only in that fleeting double image she glimpsed, but in the crimson black hue creeping into her hair, in her gaze, her voice, her every choice. She has a dim, elusive memory of Alpha pressing her forehead to hers, tenderly entrusting her with something, though she cannot recall when. We may be drifting apart now, but I believe the world is round and so is fate. One day, beyond all the paths that pulled us apart, we will find our way back together. Lucia says nothing more. A single steady nod, and she steadies herself. Oh, I love the two of them. I remember back in the beginning, they were so at each other's throats, but now, look at them. Our Lucia's. Her blade sweeps out, flames roaring to life along its edge. That is her answer. At that same moment, alarms shriek through the FOS starship, and Vanessa's voice rings out with the others. We'll take down the Vanguard together. With those final words, Alpha draws her blade and charges toward the Chimera, the Vanguard. The dead of other worlds tear ceaselessly at her mind, yet they cannot slow her advance. She knows she is still the same as the day she first set out, pressing forward without hesitation, without ever looking back. That day, little Lucia leaped into the rift in the fog, clinging to her last scrap of hope, and in the corruption lost every color that had been hers. But even then, she could hear someone calling her name, and that voice told her she was on her own. She was her own future self. She told that countless souls had fought desperately across world after world, all to deliver this one chance at survival into her hands. Not just the Saphira data, not just the school anthem. She said she would find the greatest allies and the strongest support. She would gain an eye that pierces through all things, a hidden power dwelling within. And she would wield a blade that never falters, one that can cut through every misery this world had to offer. Just like the hero Alpha she always dreamed of becoming. And so, there was nothing left to fear. There's nothing left to fear. There's nothing left to fear. The crimson blade thrums in her hand, and as her fingers tighten around the hilt, the vast power in it trembles with eagerness. Bring it on. Let's go home. Here we go. God, this boss design is so goddamn cool. the boss design is so cool.
私たちが歩んだのは気候への長い道だった。はあ、じゃん無双キュート踏破。
Whoa.
胸前途断絶不死不滅深淵よひれ伏すがいい。進まないで。私たちと一緒に帰らないの？じゃん無双キュート踏破。じゃんあなたたちは間違った道を歩んでいる。真の帰り道を
Oh.
私たちが示してあげる。
Oh, that's wicked.
たとえ魂のない抜け殻だとしても必ず連れて帰るわ。キュート踏破。私たちに証明してあなたの戦略を。
Oh, what the heck? Oh, wait, that's what it was. Okay. Oh, damn it. I did wrong. I couldn't get that one right. I completely timed it terribly. I couldn't get that achievement. Oh well. I wonder if there's another chance at it.
前途断絶不死不滅深淵よひれ伏すがいい。逆らわないで。キュート踏破。運命の本流は止められない。塵と化しなさい。
Oh, that was what it was.
砕けなさい。
Wait, what?
あの素晴らしい過去に戻れるのなら。は？私が気候の道を導いてあげる。はっ。
Oh! Wait, was that it? Ooh, the music. Okay, I gotta really pay attention to this. There we go. Nice. That was cool.
前途断絶。はあ。胸。栄宝よ、愛好の尾をつかめ。
There we go. Cool.
全ての犠牲は無駄なのよ。あなたは選んだ道に救いなんてない。見なさい、ルシア。あなたの後ろには闇しかない。間違った道を歩みながらなぜ刀を振るうの。遠回りしてもいいし、道を間違えてもいい。でも後戻りはしない。あなたの帰る道をこれで消え去る。ここが私の帰る道よ。
Woo! I mean, I already watched that one, but like English dubbed, like I think a while ago, but still really fucking good. That was a cool fight too. I like the parry sequence during that one. That was really nice. I fucked up the first time, but I think I got the hang of it. But that was cool. Nice. Nice. 2 more nodes. Passing strange. Oh, look at the art in the background. Passing strangers. But she doesn't need an answer anymore. Yui Ishikawa voicing 3 characters on the same. She was? Obviously, Lucia and Alpha. Wait, she was voicing Vanguard as well? That was her voicing Vanguard as well? Banger. It's kind of funny how Yui Ishikawa voices like... Oh, one of the Vanguard voices is Yui? Oh, cool. It's kind of funny how Yui Ishikawa voices like 3 heroine characters who are also androids. Like she voices 2B, doesn't she? From Nier Automata, as well as Arapi from Nikkei, I think. It's kind of funny. 3 of them main heroines of their games, their respective games, as well as them being androids or robots. A2 as well? Really? Oh, I didn't know she voiced A2 as well. I have A2. Unfortunately, I don't have 2B. Oh, I didn't know that it was A2 as well. Engines blazing, the FOS starship tears through the fog and bursts back into the cosmos in a single flash. We're home! The hand of the universe sweeps across the starship. The catastrophic shockwave that should have torn it apart vanishes in half a heartbeat. Every disaster that ought to have struck smoothed away into nothing. Isn't voiced by Yui. Oh, okay. What's happening? Blag, blah, 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 blah. Ripped from a flattened dimension back into 3-dimensional space, their limbs and bodies abruptly return to their command. The crew's first response is a unanimous, visceral revolt. Bleh. We all just vomited. Students across the starship retch and heave in a cacophony of misery. Oh, we really did just bleh. Back on Babylonia, everyone scrambles in a controlled frenzy. Understandably so. FOS signature confirmed. Requesting emergency dock. Put us through now. All 9 docking ports cleared for approach. Automated coordination modules online. Trajectory calculation still crunching. Gestalt. Gestalt emanates a ghostly blue light as a calm female voice streams through the central broadcast and into every staff member's earpiece. Starship orbital insertion confirmed. Attitude nominal. Attitude? Attitude nominal? I think that's supposed to be altitude? Trajectory synchronization will be complete within 1 revolution. Docking condition satisfied. Commencing docking procedure with sector E2159. Estimated docking time remaining 22 minutes 8 seconds. A flicker of static ripples through Gestalt's broadcast, as if the AI itself were pausing to think. Then it does something no supercomputer should. It speaks with unexpected warmth, calling out, FOS, welcome home. The staff members still for half a breath, then slip straight back into the rhythm of their work. Cleared the dock. Hold everything. All stations listen. High concentration punishing virus readings detected aboard the FOS starship. These levels. We're looking at an agent class hostile at minima. No, readings still spiking. Alert! Science Council Sector S2135 under direct assault. Enemy punishing virus signatures confirmed as Ascendant class or higher. All mind beacon connections across Babylonia have gone dark. Level 2 alert. Alarm bells blare throughout the vessel. Hey, that thing on the FOS starship. The staff member's shout cuts off mid-cry. I see her. The staff member lifts their head, then rises unsteadily to their feet, their gaze locked helplessly onto a humanoid figure atop the starship. Level 1 alert. Atop the starship, the fog clears to reveal a figure in red and white rising upright. She tilts her head back, straightens her spine, and tucks a stray strand of hair behind her ear. She needs no protection to stand exposed in the vacuum of space. She sheathes her blade with unhurried grace and gazes down at Babylonia below. Then, step by step, she walks forward, unburdened by the weight of the cosmos, and steadily descends toward Babylonia's bridge. All units, stand by. Level 1 alert. Prepare to engage. A pair of hands settles onto the staff member's shoulders. Step back. Non-combatants, fall back. The leading female commandant strides forward, a tide of human soldiers and constructs massed at her back. Weapons raised, they push toward the bridge in rhythm with her stride, laser sights peppering the red and white figure with clustered crimson dots. Alpha catches sight of Liv and Lee among the throng. Her footsteps halt at the very edge of the starship. She does not advance another step. The standoff stretches nearly 30 minutes. Docking complete. Internal and external pressure nominal. Opening hatch. As the FOS starship's hatch yawns open, several pale faces emerge before the waiting army. The harsh glare of Babylonia sears Vanessa's vision, nearly forcing her eyes shut. She pushes herself one step forward, but overestimates her strength and lurches sideways. Steady her. Seeing Vanessa stumble, the human reaches out to steady her, only for those same limbs to give way. Lucia catches the human from the side. Commandant! Liv and Lee are the first to break formation, lunging forward to catch everyone before the new FOS team collapses like dominoes. Valeria's gaze landed instantly on the dark red stains blotting the students' clothes, her brow furrows. After Liv and Lee, Star of Life medics surge into the starship under armed escort, racing death for every second. The next battle has begun. Alpha remains standing aboard the starship the entire time, her hand resting lightly on the hilt of her blade. She makes no other move, only watching as the FOS students are evacuated one by one. She is simply keeping watch. From the fog within her mind, a voice of herself seems to rise, questioning. What do you think about Alpha, when you watch everyone rush toward their happiness? Alpha tilts her head slightly, listening to that voice. After starting everything, now you decide to take it all back? Are those fragile feelings really gone from you now? Don't you wish they would stop just once and look back at you? Alpha lowers her head once more, her gaze settling on the human and Lucia beside. A Lucia who can find happiness. This is good enough. When the human withdraws from the starship as the final one, the soldiers silently open a path for all of Grey Raven. Only then does Alpha let her gaze fall, looking no longer. She bends her knees and propels herself down from the starship's summit. She has no intention of damaging Babylonia's structures and so chooses to leave via the bridge. To leave quietly, just like that. But the wary vigilance fixed upon her does not waver. The human pauses as well, turning to look. Alpha. Alpha moves 2 steps closer to the bridge. The soldier's aim tracks her every move, sights fixed on the back of her head. Don't move, Alpha. This ends here. But Alpha doesn't stop. Reach out to her. Of course I will. Amid the bristling standoff, the human reaches out a hand, lips parting, clearly on the verge of saying something. Will it be thank you? Or I'm sorry? Or stay, Alpha? Alpha says nothing more. She does not stop. Her eyes remain fixed ahead, utterly indifferent to the red dots swarming across her body. She walks straight past the human, past Grey Raven. Oh, well, geez, okay, I wanted to give you a handshake. Okay. It's not like my feelings are hurt. Perhaps they are simply strangers now. Perhaps this is where they part ways for good. But she doesn't need an answer anymore. Because atheism made an eternal vow with the human long ago to walk the path that leads away from happiness, just as she does now, moving resolutely in the opposite direction from everyone, toward the bridge's far end. And then into the dark of the universe. Homecoming Voyage. All the blah blah you blah blah blah. Beneath the tree, Alpha gazes at Earth. Liara and the others were right. Dominic made other plans. Humanity is already on the path Dominic foresaw. I'll make sure they stay on course, at least for now. They'll need my guidance. Alpha extends her hand and points to the heart of the Atlantic. Open your eye. Where her finger grazes the Atlantic, one eye stirs open. That human, who should have shared my vision. She can no longer bring herself to speak the name of the one she left behind, the one she might have walked through a lifetime with. Your starting point? This is where you'll find it too. Oh! One after another, she lays down the threads of causality in the Atlantic's depths. Wait. But she suddenly senses something, as if another gaze is fixed on the very thing she watches. She traces it for a few seconds and finds it comes from a black and white construct. Another variable, it seems. I sense Ophelia's presence in her. What? She takes a long, careful look. The Sea of Atlas surges for the new queen, its roar shaking the sky, exposing an immense gray coastline. Corruption hangs thick in the air. Corpses litter the tidal flats without end, the bodies of humans and constructs, of whales and sharks, of apes and serpents, of birds. Silver strands knot through them like umbilical cords running from evolution's birth to the grave, descending into the abyss. Alright, thanks for hanging out, Leo Jew. Have a good rest of your night. Oh, this is Valentine? Oh, that's interesting. Ophelia, huh? Yeah, because Ophelia and Valentine are sisters. It was mentioned earlier. Atheism. You finally gained the sight. Oh, is Valentine also a Sophia frame then? The Spider Woman. Really? Stands at the far end of the sea of corpses. Ophelia's sister, Valentine. I have my sister to thank. Through her, you already knew of me. But unlike the price you paid, it is only through this body that I can stand before you here. What do you want to tell me? The other end of the scale. She raises a hand and the waves shudder. Spider silk from her 5 fingers hauls up a multitude of decayed bodies, weaving them into twin spirals against the sky. Maybe a reference to Ophelia from Hamlet. Ooh, interesting. The universe's information follows the conservation law. You have witnessed its greatness and have felt its power. You have found the truest vein and severed all other branching paths. In turn, all life have found the truest vein. In turn, this civilization shall pay a price equal to your choice. Well, shit. Further down this path, humanity will yet face other perils summoned by the filtering itself. When that time comes, you, an overseer who has forsaken fate itself, will have no choice but to accept humanity's desperate gamble and aid them in it, whatever the outcome may be. The woman meets Alpha's gaze. Waves crash against ancient reef rock that has weathered eons. Is this the future you want? Countless figures flash before Alpha's eyes. This is an answer Alpha has never hesitated over. I have burned away my own future for this path humanity now walks. It will be long and arduous, but it is the true one. Burned away the future. Kiyuki. They will follow my shadow and walk to an even farther tomorrow. I see. Valentine gazes up at the boundless ocean. The spirals of decayed flesh weave and coil together, saturated with seawater, assembling into the most ancient of single-celled life. The helix's sequence holds 10 base pairs, each matched to one of the 10 fruits upon the tree. Okay, those 10 of them. All right. Biology. It is the cradle of all consciousness. As life multiplied and diverged, all living souls lost the bridge that once connected them to the roots. From a certain moment, sky and earth began to pull apart. Lightning scarred the dome of heaven. Cells divided and converged from ocean to land, all the way to the late Devonian. That means Norse, or that means valley where hazels grow. Ooh. Interesting. Until the life form called Tree rose to rule the world. This is a solution that belongs to Earth alone. Every story will find its answer along this vein. You and that human used it to seal the breach, but the master of the punishing virus will choose a new agent for that same reason. I understood this long ago. The phallatry of Osea was never anyone's invention. Dominic simply stood upon the right path before anyone else did. The master of the punishing virus. With a faint smile, Valentine gazes toward the vast ocean. Then you should also understand that humanity never needs to seek miracles from graves. I'm starting to wonder, are you the real Valentine? or just the shadow cast by Saphira. I've read the ordained path of fate, and this moment was never part of it. That is precisely our purpose. I paid the price to warn you. You, as an overseer, the change is coming. You would do well to master the rules of this world through the philo tree, and soon. Female rover in her depression era. Alpha sifts through Helentine's past and future. In the change Helentine spoke of, Alpha spots a familiar figure. Shall I tell you how it ends ahead of time? Don't bother. Alpha first lifts her gaze to the colossal tree, growing dense and wild on the nourishment of rotting fireflies. It is my destiny to witness every choice made by human civilization. The final result is only the destination. What I am truly here to oversee is every twist of decision in every second that passes between now and then. Alpha lowers her gaze again, returning her steady watch to the earth. In the temporary camp on the surface, Luna opens her eyes as well. It seems only a sliver of time has passed since she watched Alpha leave. The panicked fish is still beside her, only looking even more flustered now. FOS, it just reappeared. Lamia brandishes a comms terminal she somehow acquired, gesturing at the server-wide notice. Roland, meanwhile, looks like he already knew the answer. My. Should we be preparing a little congratulatory speech? The lost one has finally found her own path. Luna, however, lifts her gaze to the sky. She's found where her fate first took root. Luna suddenly realizes her upward gaze meets no hindrance. From the sky to the cosmos, barriers are dissolving for her. She's beginning to see through everything. She reaches out to touch the air before her, control answering almost at will. She is certain now. Her connection to the Ascension Network truly is remade, just as Alpha said. She has held tight to the memory of that phone call. I need you to remember this. Someday, in the future, I'm going to contain the fog and use my power to disrupt the Ascension Network. It might not be too long before that day comes. You'll know when it does. What you do then is entirely up to you. If you want to take the Ascension Network for yourself, I'll be there for you. It's Sis. She handed me the key to total dominion over the Ascension Network. She clenches her fist abruptly, as if to seize every strand of the punishing virus from the air. The timing is precise, right when her power is being disrupted by certain anomalies. Her eyes narrow, tracing the wellspring of every anomaly back to one agent who can't seem to stop provoking Babylonia. So it's you. She quiets the noise in her mind with methodical precision, fixes her course ahead, and nods to the other two ascendants before moving beyond the forest. I will always stand beside you, Sis. So, for now, let's begin by exterminating the little bugs causing all these anomalies. Luna makes her choice as well, resolving to hold her position as an agent for now, a role steeped in hatred, or perhaps love. The power of Ascension will continue to serve the path she deems right. Interesting. The vanished recording. All blah 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 the best blah blah blah.
もう始まってるの？カウントダウンくらいしてよ。ルシア、指揮官、この録音を聞いている頃にはもうみんな知ってるはずよね。ずっと言おうと思っていたんだけど、二人ってファウンスの頃からバレバレなのに自分たちはうまく隠せてると思ってるでしょう。ルシアはバレてないつもりだろうけど、いつも隣の席を空けてるわよね。誰のためかわからないとでも。まあみんなあの光景が好きだから何も言わなかったんだろうけど、愛し合う二人を見てるとこっちまで幸せになるの。
まだ何も始まってないのに感傷的にならないで。無駄話はいいから早く本題に入りなさい。待って、話はまだ終わってない。ルシア、指揮官、2人のことは入学初日からずっと見てきたわ。何度も喧嘩して、何度も任務をこなして、何度も死にかけた。失点技術の研究中、何か進展があったらすぐに参加したがったわよね。手伝いたい気持ちはわかるけど、無茶しすぎて心配になるのよ。無茶する2人が一緒になったらろくなことにならないわ。でも2人を止めることはできない。そうなのよね。結局付き合っちゃったし。どっちが告白したのかしら。私はルシアにかけるわ。これから先はどこへ行こうと、宇宙であれ偏僻な場所であれ、しっかり寄り添い合うのよ。もう無茶はしないで。私たちの祝福を胸にずっと幸せでいて。こんなところかしら。アデレーネから2人が帰ってきたって連絡も来たし。私まだ最後まで話せてないのに。早く。とにかくルシア、指揮官、相手のプロポーズは受け入れること。みんな2人のことを応援してるから。大好きよ。絶対に2人の幸せを守るわ。私も大好き。みんなずっと幸せでいようね。来るわ。早くしまって。それと末永くお幸せに、指揮官。ルシアもね。2人ともお幸せに。ファウンスは永遠に。
The recording that will never be played comes to a sudden stop. All the best to you, Lucia. Huh. There we go. That's done. Throwing salt to the wound. Oh yeah. This was really good. Oh yeah. From start to finish. Super good. Some more stuff when it comes to different timelines and whatnot. And then with Hetero Tower being a part of the story as well. A little bit of Vonnegut, a little bit of Ishmael, more stuff with the Vanguard. In fact, seeing more of the Vanguard as well. This was really good. Amazing stream. Thank you. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Speaking of enjoying this, yeah, this chapter was really, really good. I really loved it. I really did. Like I'm pretty sure I've said what I could say during the story, but like I don't know what more I could say other than it's just good. I think I just need to like give it some time just to process. But all I can say right now at the moment though is the next story going to be the Atlantic or like the ocean and stuff. And I remember from the live stream for PGR or for like this though, they mentioned Karenina being like commanding like an ocean vessel or whatever. So possibly Karenina might be the next one to release as playable, but who knows? Who knows? But we do get to see Adelaide, even though it was like the other timeline. And we do get to see for a brief moment at Node 27 Helentine and stuff. And it seems like Helentine has also got like a Saphira like frame or designation to her. The way she's talking. Or I think Alpha even just pointed it out too. interesting stuff. A lot of interesting stuff. Now they're really getting into it with the Saphira frames and the phyla It's really cool. So now we know that there's 10 designations with the Saphira. And so far we only know 6 names, which are Mercy, that's Liv. There's Kingdom, Foundation, which I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Teddy. Beauty, Crown / Atheism, and what's the other one? Did I say Kingdom already? There's those. Wait, hang on, what was it? Kingdom, Beauty, Mercy, Foundation, Crown / Atheism. There was a 6th one, but I can't remember what the 6th one was named. But they said the name of the 6th one. And then there's 4 other ones that we don't know about. So that tells me we're going to have 10 in total constructs with some connection or with that designation of Saphira, which is really, really cool. Really interesting stuff. It's kind of bittersweet with Alpha in this one. She really had to... She, in her own words, burned away futures of her just to... and chose this current one. Which also included that one timeline with her, being with Commandant and stuff. Which, again, it's... Even though this is Alpha, it's still Lucia, right? So it's just... I think it's kind of sweet and a little... and romantic seeing that even in a different timeline, Lucia and Commandant are like... end up being together or whatever. I think it's really sweet. Bittersweet, but... bittersweet and tragic in Alpha's case, but it's really nice. I can't wait for the next patch, whenever, like in a month or 2 or something. What is this? Oh yeah, this. I don't know when I'll do the Babylonia stuff. There's quite a lot of Babylonia stuff to do. I still haven't done Liv's and Lee's little invitation thing. It's been a while. At some point I'll do those. I definitely have to do that that outfit one though, because that's limited time, right? So definitely gotta get that one going. So it'll be a while until I do another PGR stream, because quite literally in like a few hours, I think, really soon, the Wuwa Cyberpunk collab is gonna happen. And next weekend I'll be playing through that as well, both Friday and Saturday. So it's likely that the weekend after will be when I stream and play PGR again, just doing my weekly stuff and doing the events that's available in this patch, as well as the Babylonia content. And they have that new game mode as well that I really want to check out too. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And I know from Monday through Friday I'm working. So I have thought about trying to stream again on the weekdays like I used to before. But probably just keep it to like around 4 hours long for those streams, but I'm not too sure if I'll do that. I don't know if I'll go back to doing some weekday stuff alongside the weekends or just the weekends. But yeah, that's future stuff for me to be concerned about. But yeah, chapter 41, Homecoming Voyage. Super good. Loved it. Really loved it. Now I can only just hope to get Lucia or Alpha from the research for the polls from the gacha. Hopefully I can get her. I can at least hope to get her. I don't think I'd be able to get her weapon or cub. You can only hope. But anyways, with that being said, that will be it for me for tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for chatting with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you are in the world. Take care, stay safe, drink plenty of water, and I will see you definitely next weekend, in this upcoming weekend. I don't know if I will stream during the weekdays here, but the weekend for sure. And it's going to be on Wuwa for the Cyberpunk collab, which I'm looking forward to. I really got to finish watching Edge Runners. I only just finished episode 4, so I got to get that done. But yeah, again, thank you for watching, and again, I hope you enjoy the stream, and enjoy the rest of your week. Until next time then. Thank you. Bye-bye.